we're here talking bollocks. Saturday night, virtual pub and all that. Slightly warmer indoors in the studio than it is outdoors.
It is.
Can you imagine being at Witherspoons now, outside now, freezing your bollocks off?
Having a fag.
Having a fag and talking to some woman.
I'll tell you what, you got the sound down right. It sounds like you're in a cubicle.
Ooh.
In the toilet. You, Mr. Brown. You.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, just have that echo that, you're having a pee while you're talking. I hate people like that, by the way. It's like,
echo,
bro, how you going?
Echo. How is everybody?
All right.
MegaGeek,
I'm okay. I'm all right. A really easy day today, so
another one.
Relaxed. No, my days are filled with looking at the screen all the time and bloody editing. It's just really annoying. But it's money, isn't it? You have to pay the mortgage somehow.
You do, and this is the highlight of the day, isn't it?
Matt, how are you?
Moving on. Matt, good question. How are you? Hello, Cruel. Moving on. Matt Pott, you okay?
Talking to? Sorry. No, I didn't know which Matt you're talking to. Sorry. Are you talking
right,
to
okay, from the top.
I'm fine. So, my Steven
I'm asking
Seagal
you now.
story. My Steven Seagal story. It's quite funny, actually.
Yes. Swap, shop, whatever. Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired. I went for a run earlier in the heat, and it kind of like wiped me out.
Heat?
We're in winter.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
just
typical Australian. Always got to go one better.
Do you know what? Somebody said to me from Australia, I've got a friend in Australia, and he said that the shopping malls reminds him of Christmas because it was the only coolest place to be at Christmas time. Is that true, Matt?
Yeah, the shopping malls are so well, air conditioned.
Global warming.
Wow. Because it's summer when you have Christmas. Yeah. Isn't it summer when it's Christmas for you? Isn't it summer when you have Christmas? Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
and literally that's where you go. You go to you go to those shopping centres to cool
spend
down.
Some money and cool down. Cruel Birab in the
hasn't
chat.
Been so bad this year actually. The summer pretty much went and left sort of thing. It didn't stick around. It wasn't really overly hot. So I don't know what Greta was going on about.
Yeah.
Cruel Birab in the chat. Good evening, folks. Hello, my friend.
Good evening.
Well, at least somebody's watching.
I think they're all watching another channel.
Well, that's
a good one. Like
oh yes, a better one than this. Yes.
Oh
well, they're like who's on? Burnett's on.
He is.
Oh, is he? Oh well, he is a better channel.
Yeah.
He was. I woke up this morning and he was doing his fucking metal show.
Was it?
And he'd been going for about 4 hours, and he was pissed as a fart. And it was quite amusing.
he gets drunk on wine, doesn't he?
He does. Evening MC.
I didn't know you could get drunk on wine.
He does his.
You must have a fair bit of it.
He does his post geek this time, and he's decided to do a midnight show his time for the international folk, and he brands it as fucking metal. So yeah,
he's really branched out, hasn't he?
Has he?
Burnett, yeah, he's really branched out as far as every it used to be just talking about the movies, and now it's hot toys and
I love you. I love your toys.
Music and doing the prisoner casts and
maybe he's run out of ideas. Maybe.
Hard, like.
Do you know what I was watching today? I was watching The Bourne Identity today, just to refresh my memory of how good it was. And do you know what? After all these years, it still is a really entertaining little, and I say little because at that time the budget wasn't so big, film. It's I can't believe I still enjoyed it, even though I knew what was going to happen.
Is it the one with Dr. Kildare?
No, Matt Damon.
It's the one
not
with
Dr. Kildare version. No,
Matt Damon.
It's a great film. It really is. I just, as I said today, I watched it again, and I'm like, you know what? This film is a classic. It really is a classic. And it does work in so many levels.
As far as action's concerned, absolutely.
How old is that one now?
Must be a good 10 years now, right?
No,
longer than that.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, it has to be longer than that.
Wow.
I think MegaGeek, I think you need to get outside a bit more, mate.
Well,
no, you're right. No, you are right.
How many years?
It looks like actually it looks like 2002. That one.
Wow.
Because I got it confused. I got it confused with what is it? The Bourne. What was that one the other one that he just did recently?
Oh, Jason Bourne. That was terrible. I tell you a reason why it was terrible. Both Matts, is because Jason.
Not me then.
Oh, sorry, Ian. Sorry, pal. The reason why Jason Bourne didn't work was because he didn't have his memory loss thing in it, and the other three, he was always trying to find out who he was, and and then the last one, the Bourne Supremacy, he found out that he was the one that volunteered to become Jason Bourne, which kind of basically made him go mental a bit. But in Jason Bourne, there was nothing like that. So that's why it didn't work, because he he remembered everything, and it just became a stupid spy thing. Do you know what I mean? And it just didn't work.
You know what I hate most is when they have like the first movie where you have this guy and he's got these special abilities and everything, and he tries to work it all out, and he meets this girl, and he's there trying to protect the girl as well, and then the second one she's just dead.
but that raised the stakes though, didn't it? Because he
oh yeah, but it's like, well, that pretty much fucked that first film as far as
language Timothy.
That is true, right? But the thing is,
2002.
It makes it. I mean, it really does. It made the guy played Dredd, because he was the main henchman in it, wasn't he? I can't remember his name. Carl Urban. Yeah. It made you hate him because he shot Marie.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You see, it raised the stakes. And the thing about if you watch all three back to back, you see the journey that Jason takes, and he grows and he grows and he grows, and then he comes to the conclusion that he's never going to escape it, and that's why he disappears at the end of the third one. But in Jason Bourne, it was just stupid. They should never have brought him back. They should have just left it as a third.
Wasn't there one in between that though, Ian?
Yeah. Aaron Cross. Yeah, that was the Bourne Legacy, which was absolute rubbish.
Cruel Birab. It's like the producer of the channel is this boy. Carl Urban was. I keep saying Urban.
It was in the second film.
Was in the second. Yeah.
He killed Marie.
Well done, Cruel.
And Marie, I think the girl who plays Marie is famous for Run Lola Run. She was in that movie, wasn't she? I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I thought, what's her name was in that one?
Who?
Mila.
No, it's not her. It's the German girl it was her, a German girl in Bourne.
Wow.
Yeah, so they look similar because they had the same color hair from. She had the same color hair in that film with Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. Yeah. Well, what did you guys think of?
You're right. Oh my God. I just Googled it. Oh my God. She looks exactly like her.
What do you guys think of the Bourne series? Do you ever watch it, you guys?
I saw the first one. I thought it was all right. Didn't really do much for me, to be honest.
All right.
Never really felt the inclination to watch the others.
Are you in the toilet?
Me?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like
no, maybe my mic is slightly obscured. Let me.
No. It doesn't sound like you. It's fine. Your mic's fine.
I'm
as far as
fucking with you. Sorry.
No, you're the one that sounds like you're in the toilet.
Do I?
Yeah.
But no, so you didn't like it. You didn't feel the need to see the other two then.
We got rid of him. Really. Yay!
I mean, the whole secret agent thing's kind of a bit sort of blasé for me. It's a bit sort of
overdone.
I'm just too sort of sci-fi inclined, I think.
Right, gotcha. So so I mean, I can tell you that a sci-fi film that I really like, but that people don't really consider these days is 2010. I thought 2010 was far more entertaining than 2001.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from. Personally, I like them both equally, but differently, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I saw 2001 like that twice when I was young, and then I read a book by Arthur C. Clarke, and the book was like so much. I wouldn't say better than the film, but different in the respect that everything's explained in the book. And I was just sitting reading the book, going, "Whoa!" My brain was just mind blown when I read it, and then I went back and saw the film again. I was like, "Wow, okay, yeah, I totally get where Kubrick was coming from now." So it might help sort of reading the book, and then you probably enjoy the film so much more if you did it that way around. I think
I did read the book, but I still maintain that 2001 is boring. You know, everything looks nice and the effects are great, but I'm sorry, it's just dull. It doesn't move.
It is. No, I'm with you there. It's a terrible movie. I just I couldn't see Ronnie Corbett anywhere.
Leonard Rossiter was in it as well.
He was. But you know what these science fiction films always get wrong is the tale of televisions. When you look at Blade Runner, they still got tube. They still got tube televisions.
Yeah, I really like that though. That Blade Runner. It's kind of like a retro future.
Oh, it's the same with Alien. It's like Alien. It belongs.
But that's what But that's what made Alien and Aliens as well so great and kind of almost believable. It grounded it by having 1980s technology in it still, which was good for the audience in the 1980s. But when you go and watch Prometheus, and it just looks like so far removed from the Alien movie. They should have, when they made Prometheus, they should have kept that aesthetic. It would have been so much better straight away, instead of having all this like JJ.
I like that because it's still got slideshows and that. They've still got slideshows in freaking Alien.
Do you know what puzzles me about sci-fi movies is the design. Okay, so for instance, if you look at Flash Gordon, those designs in Flash Gordon is very, very much Italian / European designs of the ship and everything, and the structure of place and everything. Then you watch Star Wars. Yeah, it's a completely different design. Now, if you're in a universe, right, with thousands of creatures, millions of planets, isn't it fair to say that ships will look different? Yeah, in Star Wars, all the ships look like it was designed by one person. Every place you went looks like it was designed by one person.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Places that we saw, at least anyway. But then we saw the prequels, and then we got to see a lot more variation, I think, in architecture and design and stuff.
It was still Star Wars, Dane. It was still kind of.
And I guess to George Lucas's credit, he kind of wanted to keep
MC
ships look more like boats in the prequels.
MC in the chat. Sorry, guys. I like the first 3 Bourne movies. Legacy was dull. Fell asleep both viewings. Jason Bourne was better than Legacy.
It kind of reminds me of like Diamonds Forever, where they got Connery back because they ended up getting Damon back because that other one didn't do too well.
MC is obviously a sucker for punishment. In the chat, I watched Rebecca Gold last night and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I.
Kral Birab says, I thought the one with Jeremy Renner was okay.
It had its moments, but it moved too slow, and the action wasn't forthcoming.
Real Honest.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I mean, going back to sci-fi movies because Swap Shop is really into sci-fi. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi movies as well, but there are things in it. As I was talking to Ian before we went live, saying that Blade Runner, there's a fundamental thing that they didn't do in Blade Runner. You'd think they would do it. They would have something built into the replicant so they wouldn't attack.
Is he a replicant, though?
What, Blatty? Of course he is. Are you talking
he
about
a replicant?
Deckard is not a replicant. That was not the way the script went when they originally did it.
Swap Shop. Is he a replicant?
I think he's a hybrid replicant human.
Pott, is he a replicant?
Human.
Right, moving on.
But he is human because, as I said in the first, I mean, that's the reason why Scott and Ford fell out, because Scott was trying to say to him, you know, it's a possibility he might be a replicant, and Ford was saying, no, I cannot act like that. If I have to be emotional to play this performance, you know, and to be emotional means that, you know, that I have to play him like a human. And it wasn't defined in the first film. In fact, I like the first version of Blade Runner with the voiceover and everything. I really, you know, even though I thought it was
dull. You can tell his enthusiasm in that one.
I don't know.
Visually, it looked very similar to Close Encounters.
Well, because yeah, I guess, but it was who did the effects? Doug Trumbull. Doug Trumbull did the effects, didn't he? They were on a budget and they made it work so well. That the effects, they really did. So they're masters of what they did in those days. Obviously, everything's done in a computer now, which makes it feel bad.
I think it was all the kind of light lens flare-y type things that made it back then. Whereas now it just looks pants, but back then it gave it that
flying cars, awesome
sense of depth. You know,
another sci-fi
that gloss.
That people don't talk about Silent Running. Has anybody seen Silent Running?
Oh my God, what a great film! I went back and saw that a few years back, and the effects do look a little bit ropey now, but it's still a great movie, you know.
The robots. Yeah,
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, and they haven't got chimpanzees inside.
Is that John? What's his name?
No, that's Carpenter. It's not John Carpenter. No, John Carpenter made the other film. Bouncing Balloon.
Who did Silent Running then?
Yeah, I can't. Is it Walter Hill produced it? I think, and Laura Dern's dad was in it.
Bruce Dern.
What's his name? Bruce Dern. And it's a really good movie.
But it's so many years ago, I can't remember.
I like Laura Dern.
Yeah, she was hot when she was young.
Oh, bloody oath she was. Have you seen her in Mask?
Yeah. She is. She's
playing the blind girl. She'd like me then.
Yeah. No, as I said, Silent Running. People forget about Silent Running. The science fiction film I hated was the one that someone's son made. Someone's famous son made.
Oh, Sunrise.
No, not that
Moon.
one.
Bowie.
Moon.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Moon. I hated that film.
Oh,
that film
you're joking?
Absolute rubbish. Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, I didn't like it
Sunshine.
at all.
I like that. I thought it was all right.
See Stewart's coming.
Who did Moon then?
Duncan Jones.
And I liked his second movie,
that was.
though.
I knew it was Bowie's son, but I thought he did Sunshine.
David Bowie.
I liked his second
David
film,
Bowie.
which was.
Have you ever seen Ed? Have you ever seen the interview with Jones where he did this movie called War of Warcraft? And
was that based on the game?
It did, yeah, it was. And they had this interview with this British guy, and this British guy came in and asked him,
Source Code,
like this critic.
One. That's it, Source Code.
MC, on fire.
This critic came in and asked him a question, and literally he answered it, and the critic got up and walked out. He said, "Thanks, bye." Because he hated the film so much, the critic. He was like, and like Jones just didn't know what to do. He was like, "What's going on?" You know.
I think it's very pretentious. That's why I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. You know,
it's not making it anymore.
Well, thank God.
If there's one guy who needs to do a pilot for Space 1999, I think he'd do a good job of it.
Well, it did have Space 1999 effects in that film.
It did look very good.
Yeah. But I just didn't feel it. It didn't work for me. But I'm glad other people liked it. That's the thing. So, but
thanks.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, when it comes to criticism of movies, no one's right and no one's wrong. It also depends on how you feel on the day when you turn up to see it. If you're going to see if you saw Star Wars and then a year later Empire Strikes Back was coming out, you'd feel that sense of excitement, and that kind of dictates how you would feel after you see the movie as well. Do you know what I mean? So it all depends on.
With regards Moon, I knew it was out on limited run. And luckily, the cinema where I live had it, so I kind of, I'm going to go watch that. And I was I'd heard good things about it, and I enjoyed it. And Space 1999, I just thought, God, this guy needs to make Space 1999. But
can't call it Space 1999, though. I have to call it something else. Moonbase Alpha.
They were going to, weren't they? They were actually... There was that the
50th is coming up in
remake coming up.
Yeah, the 50th is coming up. Literally 90. It's 1975. It first came out, wasn't it? Just after Christmas. So the 50th is coming up, and there could be a nice symmetry if they were to make the series so it came out for the 50th. And then I think they could probably call it Space 2049, maybe.
A couple of good stories in that one, I tell you.
They should just call it Moonbase Alpha. That's what they should just call it. I mean, you don't have to.
The effects are ropey.
What, in Space 1999?
Yeah, but the stories were pretty good.
Well, season one was brilliant.
Yeah. My favorite, where they go onto that planet and they'd already been there on the planet, and they were still surviving on the planet, even though that they,
that was Birab.
I'd never seen a story like that before.
Space 1999 was going to be originally the second season of UFO.
Wow,
it was.
I was confused about UFO, but I had a great theme though. I watched one episode. I was just not.
Riders. What?
Yeah.
Typewriters a lot and other things, Department X, all that.
Very funky.
That car. Trying to put the car in every shot.
Yeah, it's a good chat. Well, as I said, I wasn't really taken aback by UFO. I saw one episode, that was enough for me, and I never really got into UFO. But I like the theme though. That's when the British people trying to copy the American shows.
It's the bird in it with the purple hair. Bloody hell, what a body!
Robert Meyer Burnett pitched Robert Meyer Burnett and an associate of his pitched a pilot to ITV for a continuation of UFO set in present day, and they turned it down.
Of course they turned it down, because it probably had a male lead in it. That's why they turned it down. Oh, I got a response from Matt.
I think this was a few years ago.
I could see it working with a female lead.
No, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't frick around with the original stuff.
They had, but
make
in
something
the other
new for females.
In the original, what I would have said is, in the original, it had Benedict Cumberbatch's mother.
It did. Yeah.
Maybe we could get her back, and then that way he'll come and work on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some great UK shows, and that's gone down a treat and has never been brought back, and quite rightly so. Like the Avengers, the Steed and Mrs. Peel. I hope they don't bring that back. Well, the New Avengers was okay.
I loved the New Avengers. I thought it was fantastic.
I didn't think it was as good as obviously
the
Peel era and what was the one before Peel? Kathy Gale. Thought those ones were quite good.
You're older than us.
Watching the original, I watched the original ones, And like they're completely different, aren't they? They're like they just took a complete another like 180 turn.
They did, yeah. The very first episode or the very first season, Ian Henry was the star. Yeah, Ian Henry was the star, and Patrick McNee was the co-star. And then when Ian Henry left, they decided to upgrade Patrick McNee, and he became the star. But yeah, you're right. It did really take a big U-turn with the really weird stories and introducing the world being weird and weird villains and stuff like that, which actually made the show brilliant.
Well, it was made before. That was made before the whole Batman thing, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but
so they were quite campy.
I just love the beginning where she's just standing there with holding the bottle of champagne, and he's standing there with the bottle of champagne, and she shoots the cork off, and they drink, and they tap the glass. Didn't look like
any innuendo at all.
But it's brilliant, though.
You know what makes me laugh? Is when she left. She left with a guy that looked exactly like.
Yeah. She did. Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
But that was her husband, because she was always married.
Yeah. Well, she was Mrs. Peel,
That's right. But she was always married.
Yeah, but it was weird that her husband was like literally like Steve,
Yeah. I like them both because that was the first time they introduced a really strong female character in British TV, and she kicked ass. She was very clever as well, she was very refined, and she looked gorgeous,
Yeah, no, well that was the height. It took about 3 or 4 years, but once she showed up, that was the height of it, and they never really recovered after she left.
Yeah, I guess they didn't. Yeah, it's very good.
My earliest memory of the Avengers was when I was about 2 or 3, and I was watching it, and I was watching. It was a new Avengers, and I was watching Purdy in her TR7, right, with a car phone, and it was like she picked up the phone. And I was thinking, like, how the hell is that possible? That the cord from that phone must be miles long.
Probably was.
Work, I just couldn't get that out of my head for years until I figured out how car phones actually work. But that was like back in the 70s. They had car phones. Like, what the hell?
Do you know Martin Shaw and Lewis Collins was in one episode? Would you believe? But
really?
Together, they were together in the new Avengers. Yeah.
Not as the professionals, though.
No, not as professionals. No.
That would have been good. That would have been good.
But I just loved Joanna Lumley's legs. She had great legs. She absolutely fantastic legs. So she was gorgeous. Joanna Lumley, absolutely gorgeous.
Still is.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
No. If you've seen her recently, no.
Matt was going to say that.
She had to hit the wall at some point, didn't she?
Yeah.
I was watching. Actually, it's really weird. Do you know that lady Linda Hamilton from Dynasty?
Terminator.
No, is it Dynasty?
Yes.
That's her name, isn't it? Linda Hamilton from Dynasty?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Crystal.
Anyway, it's a Linda something. Yeah, that's it. I was looking at an interview with her the other day, and her face reminded me of an Aliens.
Aliens?
What? Yeah, you know the Alien.
What, the film?
No. You know the Cocoon?
Oh, gotcha.
Careful.
Because she got some Botox. Is that what you're saying? Or she stretched her face? Or
what if she used Botox? Then she used a lot of it because I think they've stretched it, but it was to the point where she had no face left.
Wow!
Like just not the same person. And
who are we talking about? Linda Hamilton?
No,
Evans. Linda Evans.
Linda Evans.
That's
in Dynasty.
Sorry. Yeah, that's
that popped in from nowhere. That did.
She was in Dynasty. She had a fight with Joan Collins.
Oh, I remember. She's by Crystal, right? Yeah.
That's right, Crystal.
Yeah, that's her.
MC in the chat. I wanted the corgi versions of the new Avengers cars.
Yeah, they were really good. You're really good.
Worth a fortune now if they were mint condition. But there you
go. I always hate that when they have to bring in someone to do all the fighting because the main star is of age. And in New Avengers, they brought in Gambit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like,
That was to do with Doctor Who, wasn't it, with Tom Baker?
They did. They brought in Harry.
Yeah. And he pretty much, they got rid of him because Tom Baker could do it all, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I liked Harry though. Thought he was quite good.
Yeah. No, he was a favourite of mine.
Yeah, definitely.
Shall we talk about this for a few minutes?
Sure. We can talk about it. I really didn't like the last episode. Thought
you've seen the last one then.
I saw the last episode. I know you were on Keith's channel. I couldn't get. I couldn't get on it. I was on some other stream.
I was out of my depth.
What did they say about it? Did they like it?
Keith's American partner with the podcasts. He understood all the American stuff, saying it was very, very relevant over there. But all the Blighty boys over here, we just wanted to be entertained. So it was just kind of,
I just thought it was just stupid. I thought that speech he does at the ending was absolute bollocks. He didn't know what he was talking about, personally. If you listen,
Keith's American mate loved it.
Well, if you listen to what he was saying, didn't make any sense. And also, that costume looks so stupid on him. Yeah, the red one was so much better.
It's I saw a Looper video today. It's pretty much 100% accurate to the comics.
I know, but it looks stupid. In the comics, it looks great. But
it's the collar. It's the collar. It looks a bit funny.
No, it's just the colours. I think. Did you say colour just now?
His collar. You know, the bit what kind of comes up his neck and then round the back of his head. It just looks weird. It looks weird.
I just think that they should have redesigned it slightly better. So he looks. You know, I mean, it just looks stupid to me anyway.
You know what they need? You know what they need? The costumes.
Hello, Scruff
Cows. They need masks. Cows. You know,
cows.
Masks.
Yeah.
This is just what pisses me off about the MCU. Like, none of the characters now resemble what they're supposed to look like from the comics. They don't wear the masks. They don't really wear the costume. You look at the movie posters for the Avengers movie. Like, what characters are they? These are just people, you know? There's no mask going on at all here. And it just pissed me off.
Yeah, because they got rid of the secret identity thing pretty sharpish. I think it started in the Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man, where Spider-Man kept losing his mask for some reason. You know what I mean? And then I kind of filtered through there.
Trainload of people look at it. Don't worry, we'll keep it a secret.
We won't tell anyone. Yeah.
But that was a good moment, though.
It was a good moment. Just before smartphones came out, so no one could take a picture of him.
Well, they did have phones.
They had phones.
Yeah, but they didn't have smartphones. They didn't have cameras on them.
But those phones had cameras on them in those days. They did. They definitely did. The quality wasn't as good as what we got today. But I had a phone at that moment in time that took pictures, so they did have them.
Well, I had one, but it was like brand new just when that film came out, and that was like the first one I could get. So there couldn't have been many people with them.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm mixing up with another year.
I don't think they all had Nokia 3310s.
MC in the chats. I wish the whole series would have been like the first and last episodes. Well, maybe for the action, yes.
Yeah. It's really funny how movies have that one moment where it was just absolute bollocks. Like, I love Temple of Doom, but I hate the bit where he jumps out the plane and goes down that cliff.
Talk about this, aren't you?
And then survives when he hits the water down below. That was daft. And let me talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, there's loads of daft bits in there. Like, for instance, the stupid freckle-faced girl where he didn't want to punch her or didn't want to hurt her.
Wasn't allowed to, probably.
Empty's nest.
Yeah, she killed so many people. Yet you're not going to take her down? What's that all about?
Yeah, because Hollywood dictates he's not allowed to.
She's a good guy.
Absolute bollocks. It had to be a woman to take her down.
It was the woman who shot her 3 times or
Sharon.
2 times.
Sharon shot her, yeah.
I've got to say,
men can't hit women. Men are not allowed to hit women in the MCU or in any Disney movies. You will not get a man striking a woman anywhere. Not allowed.
I'll have to do that in Rebecca Gold. I'll have to get a guy to punch Rebecca Gold.
If I make a point of it.
See, that would be okay. Rebecca Gold, hard as nails, really, isn't she?
Yeah,
Sorry?
Get Keith to do it.
Say that again, Matt? What did you say?
Rebecca's like Rebecca in the series. She's like essentially hard as nails, isn't she? So it wouldn't really. It'd be good to see, but
but the thing is, though, she
injured.
But if she came up, if she actually was involved in a fight, she'd get mullered. The only thing that is going for her is because she's like Wolverine. She can regenerate really fast, even faster than Wolverine. So if she gets punched or smacked, she'll have a bruise, but it just disappear within a matter of seconds. So that's the thing. So I've given a little bit away in the second season, but she always stays away from that. And there's rules to fighting. If you're going to fight someone, make sure you got a weapon. Right. So that. So I'm not going to go down the route where this little girl takes on all these men and tosses them around like they're paper, because that's just stupid.
Like Disney does.
Yeah, and also females have got to have vulnerabilities. Otherwise, there's no reason to be with them. To actually spur them on, is there? If they're indestructible, there's no reason, is there? So.
MC says Rebecca Gold is awesome. I would like her to look after me and give me biscuits.
I'll pass it on to Katie.
Ian, did you notice how Carly, the freckled girl, did a roundhouse to John Walker and took him out?
Yeah, but the thing is, but that's what I'm saying. That he never. I think he threw her at one stage, and she hit the floor, but he never landed a punch on her at all. And he's superhuman as well, isn't he? He's got the drug in him.
Yeah, and a roundhouse kick to the head takes him out.
I remember watching an old film a long time ago, and it had Paul Newman in it. I think he was playing a detective. I can't remember what detective. He did 3 films or 2 films where he played the same character. And there's a scene in it where he gets tied to a chair, and this really horrible woman has a go at him, and he busts out the chair and he kicks her between the legs, and she goes down. I remember that, watching that on BBC Two, and that was the first time I ever saw a man kick a woman between the legs. I don't know what film that was, though.
And it worked?
Lou Harper, the character was Lou Harper, and he was a private detective. Yeah, it did. She went down. She went down like a sack of dirt, mate. It was a really good scene in the film, actually.
I'll have to try that.
Apparently it hurts if you do kick a woman there. Apparently it really hurts. So there you go.
Of course it would.
Yeah. Just like somebody kicked
are inside, though.
Well, I don't know how it works, but
a localized impact of force on the would definitely hurt.
Yeah.
So
moving
if you back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So thoughts of in a paragraph, Ian, your thoughts of the series. We'll
I thought it was disappointing, very disappointing, very slow moving. They did things that didn't make any sense. They're the most dumbest superheroes I've ever seen. Those two, busting a war criminal out of jail for what? Because they didn't have enough sense to figure out what was going on. Do you know what I mean? And talking to the girl when knowingly she'd killed loads of people. Why would you have a conversation with that girl?
Shit, isn't it?
And that whole boat scene was boring and dull. I didn't care about his family, didn't care about his nephews, didn't care. The action was good in the first episode. The action was good in the last episode. And it only should have been 3 episodes because they overwrote this. Totally. But that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. If I said to the guys yesterday on the stream, I would have, as we've said before, I would have liked the weekly missions.
Yeah.
Then do a story arc that goes through the series. Maybe get the writers from who did Lethal Weapon, the TV series, and just have it like, buddy Lethal Weapon. I think that could have been a winner.
I didn't like the TV series Lethal Weapon. I didn't like him. I didn't like it at all. I thought saw 1 episode. That was enough for me.
I stuck with it and liked it. Yeah,
right.
And just as it got going, they sacked the lead,
the main guy, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Clayton. I can't remember his surname, but yeah, just as it got going and started getting really good, They sacked him off. So
sacked him off.
They did. They sacked him off. It was a shame because I
don't want any more.
Don't
explain it.
It had the essence of the films.
I couldn't see that in this.
Well,
I just...
was the guy really Australian? No, that's a problem.
No, he wasn't. I think he was American, that guy.
Yeah.
I hate American accent. They try to put on Australian accents. It just doesn't work. It's so funny when they try to say Australian words and it comes out wrong. Alias had that problem where they would say Australian places and that, and you're going, huh? Where's that? And it's like
Lethal Weapon, the movie was great. It was
Bondi,
great.
In Bondi Bay. He's like, what?
But it's really funny how you don't know who's Australian. Like the girl in Fringe, she's Australian. And she puts on a really good American accent. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, she's great. I love Fringe. Oh my god, that was a great show.
Yeah, it was.
Was that about hairdressing? I've done that joke before.
I see that one coming. Oh.
The old ones are the good ones.
MC liked Fringe. He loves Fringe. I've still need to watch it myself.
Fringe was great. Fringe was a great show.
I used to like where the scientists used to say things inappropriately, like, "Oh, there was this woman that I met, and big
Walter."
Breasts.
Walter, yeah, Walter.
Her breasts were huge, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa.
That's what he used to say, though. He used to say inappropriate things.
In one episode, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I think I've pissed my pants," when he was at the back of the car. And he did. So, yeah.
He said that pet cow.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
Daisy.
I don't know. Was it called Daisy? I don't know. But
that was the name of the cow from Top Secret.
Swap Shop. What was or Matt or both Matts? What was the real girl's name? The one who played I can't even remember her name now. The Australian girl in Fringe. What was her real name in real life?
I personally don't know. MC will know. He'll comment in a minute.
Here you go.
Olivia, her name was.
Olivia.
Right.
In the series.
Yeah. She's gorgeous.
Anna Torv. She's
I didn't
also
believe
in Mindhunter.
the relationship that they had at all.
With her and with Peter Bishop.
Yeah.
Her and Peter Bishop. I did.
Yeah. No, it just seemed too forced.
He used to get bashed a lot, didn't he, Bishop?
No, he's pretty hard. He's pretty hardcore. He was pretty good at fighting.
Anna Torv.
Anna Torv.
Anna Torv's her name.
Oh, Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
She's gorgeous, Anna Torv. She even looks good
Cheers,
now.
Swap Shop. I appreciate that.
She was in Mindhunter as well.
She was, yeah. She didn't look good in that though.
MC Olivia Dunham.
Olivia Dunham, yeah. She was the main character in the.
She's from Melbourne.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Carry On, you know, like all the Dr. Kilmore and all those kind of characters. She sounds like she's done them in. Moving on.
What's this then? Ulysses 30 to 31. What's that?
Yeah,
you've never seen it.
Cartoon show.
Matt
No,
Pott,
I've never
please
seen it.
explain to the Philistine that is MegaGeek what Ulysses 31 is.
Okay. Do you know what the Odyssey is? The story of the Odyssey.
No.
You know where? Okay. Well, Ulysses, right? He pissed off the gods, right? And so he was in the Trojan Wars, and he pissed off the gods, and pretty much the gods said, "Right, we're gonna fuck you up." So he was on his ship, and he got lost in his ship. So he met this he was having all these adventures and that, but he's trying to get home. And this is literally a futuristic updated version of that.
40 years old.
Yeah, so he's on a spaceship, but there's still gods in it, which are really weird. But there's still gods in it, and he kills this thing called the Cyclops, which is one of their kids, one of the gods' kids. And so they're like, right, you killed him. You know, it's like in the future version, it's like a robot, the Cyclops. So anyway, they're like, no, we're going to punish you. So everybody around you's asleep, and you have to travel alone. But he doesn't. He's got his son and a little robot and
blue girl,
all that sort of thing. Yeah, and the blue girl. And anyway, he has to try to find his way home. And his spaceship, you would think it would have a way of getting back, but they wiped the spaceship's memory. Yeah, that's and so it's all included in the intro, the actual intro to it. They actually explain the whole thing.
It is.
Yeah. All right.
It's a French.
I watched the
cross Japanese type show.
Is it like Star Wars? Because it looks like a lightsaber he's got there, isn't it?
Yes, but it's brilliant. It's really good, and like I was saying the other day, it's actually got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So it actually ends.
Wow.
And so, very rare for a cartoon that, was continuation, But yeah, no, it was brilliant back in the day. I mean, this is like in the early 80s.
Didn't even know it existed.
I watched it today. What
did you think? Yeah.
It's the production, the direction, it's top draw. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, because it's a co-production.
It's absolutely
when they're co-productions, it's a lot more money, and they really spend it. They really do.
Mm.
It's high quality animation, really great production design. It's made by a great French cross Japanese animation team that they really put the work in, really put the passion into it, and it shows. The designs for the ships, the costumes, the robots,
ship is fantastic.
The aliens in it, everything was just superb. Every shot is a work of art. The whole thing is utterly beautiful from beginning to end. The theme tune is iconic and timeless and amazingly catchy. Yeah, it was just one of the greatest kids series ever made, and it's amazing that it wasn't really shown that much in the States. I think it was shown, but a really strange time of day. So the States never really caught onto it, but it should have been massive.
It was shown in Blighty because I remember watching it.
Yeah, it was huge here.
Yeah, it was big here too.
It was so one of my favourite things ever that I cosplayed as Ulysses a few years ago. Made my own suit, made my own no-no, everything. And I got a wig. I got a wig and styled the wig up, and I grew my beard out. And there are pictures of me taken at MCM in London and at Dragon Con in the States. If you just Google Ulysses cosplay, you'll see me. It's all over the internet.
On YouTube, somebody's...
I can tell you now who actually, why the animation was so good. It was TMS. TMS were Japanese, and they were phenomenal.
Is it Suki Levy or a name like that popped up on the credits? I know a famous Japanese name who does all the animation stuff from that time was on the credits.
Yeah, that's TMS.
Right,
I've never seen it.
TMS is
it's all on YouTube.
It's not anymore, but it was the biggest Japanese animation. You know Batman the Animated Series?
Oh, is it gone? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
They did that. They did the majority of some. You could tell the difference between that animation and the animation that they got from other places.
Oh, okay.
But they did a lot of the stuff. I think the last one they did was Batman Beyond.
Episode 1 was on YouTube. You should check it out. It's only, I think it was about 25 minutes. It's really good.
There's a YouTube channel called
Spit It Out.
It's Toy Galaxy. It's called, and they did I saw that in the talking about things. Yeah, and they'll talk about things.
They've done
20 minutes.
They've done lots like Knight Rider, Automan.
Toy Galaxy is great. Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
My Pet
really
Monster
well produced, good videos.
Yeah, and they pretty much explain all the history of certain cartoon shows, the toys, everything. It's really interesting.
People that worked on the Ulysses animation also did the Daft Punk videos for their Interstellar 5555 album that came out in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, that would have been TMS. That would have been TMS.
And they were beautiful as well. They were stunning. And you can so see the parallels between character design and stuff between Ulysses and their videos. But yeah, all the Ulysses episodes are available on YouTube. Just go and have a look, type it in, and they're all there.
Right.
Free.
I'll check it out.
You've got to put yourself in the mind.
It is worth it. Just watch the pilot. Just watch the pilot. And if you like the pilot, it's 26 half hours.
I'll check it out.
It's so imaginative. It's like nothing else out there. It was just I loved it so much, man. I loved it so much. Still do.
Yeah. No, I do too.
I need to check it out then, since it's been high praise indeed from these
people two. There are people that said, "Oh no, the kids are annoying, the robots are annoying." It's like, no. Look, you got to view this from the mind of, say, like a 10 to 15-year-old kid. It's aimed at kids primarily. And I never found them.
I can't remember hardly any of it, but I remember watching all of them.
Yeah, but one thing I really loved about it was the incidental sounds going on in the background and the soundtrack to the show. It was really sort of ethereal and kind of spooky, and kind of almost took me back to sort of Doctor Who in a way, And I just go back and I'd watch the show again just for the soundtrack alone. It was so good. It's so atmospheric.
I really hope they don't go and remake it.
Oh, terrible. I think it's pure enough to avoid any woke unnecessary remake.
Speaking of remake,
31 Raw.
Somebody had done some live versions of the actual opening credits.
Really?
Which were quite funny. Yeah, with proper humans doing the credits. The opening titles.
I've got to look this up.
Yeah, Ulysses 31 Redux, I think it was called.
I will check that out.
Yeah, Ian, you should check it out. I've got nothing but praise for it.
It was just after your time, Ian. I think you probably just got too old for it at that point.
Probably. Yeah, I'll check it out definitely. I'm up for really good shows. If you guys recommend it, I'll watch it definitely.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah, no, definitely a recommendation.
It'd make a great TV series now if it was done correctly.
Yeah, it would.
It still holds up.
Faithfully,
it still holds up anyway. It does.
Yeah,
you could show it today and kids would still love it.
Yeah, it's got like a Netflix all over it. But there you go.
Is it like Starfleet
or Amazon?
No.
Does anybody remember Starfleet?
Yes, I have.
I love Starfleet, man. I mean, it does look kind of like a little bit dodgy today, but I still love it for what it was. The
I used to love that music,
robot,
the music video.
Design, so good. And that was Japanese.
Have you seen the music video?
Yeah.
Have you seen the music video
as well? That had an ending.
Brian May.
Yeah, that was great.
Starfleet ended, and a few of the characters got killed as well.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the ending to that series was harsh, man.
Can I just say there's a bit of trivia about that? Starfleet, a lot of the voices, a lot of the UK, the voices in that were from Monkey.
Oh yeah, the people that did
Monkey Magic.
Yeah. I really loved Monkey. I thought Monkey was a terrific.
Monkey
Magic. I never missed that.
Monkey Magic. BBC.
It's funny, it's funny because when you look at it now, Tripitaka, she was really gorgeous. She was meant to be a boy in that show.
Yeah, she was.
You know what? Yeah, there was some dumb shit I was watching later. This guy goes, "Did you know that Tripitaka was actually a girl? I didn't know that." It's like, are you fucking stupid or gay or something? Because seriously, as if you would fucking work it out. I was 5 and I worked it out. It's even the.
Remember, there was an episode where she got cursed, didn't she? And she became a woman. Do you remember that episode?
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yeah, she did. She got cursed.
She was a Japanese model.
Yeah, and she looked gorgeous. She had her hair down and everything.
Went ape shit. Pigsy went ape shit for her.
Yeah, Pigsy was fancied her, didn't he?
In the chat, Krual Birab, Garrett Hagen, aka Biggs from Star Wars, does a voice in Starfleet.
Wow,
nice. There you go. Actually, yeah. I think I know the character as well. Yeah, awesome.
Top trivia with Krual Birab.
Well done, Krual.
Well, it's more screen time than he got in Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you know? There's one of the actors in one of the X-wings. He was in Crossroads. The one that says,
he was Meg
Yeah.
Mortimer's son.
Yeah.
Who shagged Jill.
Yes, right. That's the fella. Yeah.
They did a Starfleet
full of useless
documentary,
facts.
and they talked to Jerry Anderson about Starfleet.
Oh, cool.
Speaking of Crossroads, they
MC.
in the 80s, the new head woman officer, boss, manager of the motel, was one of the purple-haired girls from UFO. So the chat has come full circle almost.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah, Gabriel.
Is it gay? Oh, yeah. Oh, she was hot.
MC, Monkey was rebooted recently.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Matt knows about that. It's called Chimpanzee. He knows about that one.
Was it shot in New Zealand?
Yes, and it's got New Zealand actors in it. And it's
Jill Hunter.
Really bad.
Yeah, that's
really bad. Really bad. Really bad.
What a shame.
Do you know what? The very first episode of Monkey is when
Gabriel
Monkey he wants to go for a wee. And he sees these two pillars, and he pisses on the two pillars. But it was Buddha's fingers that he was.
Do you know what? Do you know what? That scene was actually cut in Australia.
Oh,
and
was it?
when they showed it, like years and years later, I'm like watching it, and I'm like, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what they did. They cut it, and I was like,
really
but
funny.
they did a lot of cutting. Like they cut out the word. I don't know if I can even say it on here, Mr. Brown. It starts with P.
All right.
No, go on.
I'll put it in the chat. No, I'll put it in the
Piss,
private chat.
Prick.
No, I'll put it in the private chat.
Prat.
Oh, that one.
Pussy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that word for a long time.
No,
right. Okay.
They cut
I'm
it.
frightened to open the private chat. Let me have a look. Old school.
So you put you rest your feet on in the
It's funny, you know. He's going, open the door, you poof.
Oh, man, I need to go back and watch it, man. That sounds so good.
There's a lot of ad libs in that, but I got the Blu-ray release, and that was really disappointing.
Yeah,
they didn't do anything to it
to
fix it up.
It's really good, right? Because Monkey would always beat people up with his stick every episode, wouldn't he? He'd walk in place and he'd just beat everybody up.
You know what my favorite scene is when they have to revive this king. This king's dead, so they decide they've got to try and bring him back. And there's like only one tablet that can do it, and so he has to go to this guy to get this tablet, right? This little pill. And anyway, the guy goes, "Oh, look, can I have that pill that, brings back the dead?" And the old guy goes, "No, I've only got one left. You can't have it." And so anyway, he's looking away. And while the old guy's looking away, Monkey, he pulls some snot out of his nose and makes it round and changes it, swaps it over with the pill. Right?
Oh, God.
and then he goes, "Oh, it's okay then. I won't worry about it. All right then." So Monkey goes with this pill, right? And the old guy decides to take
Oh,
it.
no.
And he's like, "Ooh, tastes funny."
But it really does have some really lowbrow humor in Monkey, which made it unique.
Great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it made it
Always the
unique.
best.
Yeah, it really did. Monkey couldn't read, could he?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Pigsy couldn't read either.
The humour's much like this channel, very lowbrow.
Low brown.
Careful.
We're very humorous. I like
his cloud.
anyway.
When he blows, he goes.
Oh, the pink one.
The cloud would turn up and he
Flying
just jump
Nimbus.
on it.
There's a lot of parallels there to Dragon Ball Z, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a great show.
It is. It's based on Dragon Ball Z. Is actually based on the legend.
Yeah. Well, the original
Dragon
Dragon Ball.
Goku. Yeah, his name is Goku, and that's Monkey.
And he had a tail in it as well, didn't he? And
Goku.
stuff,
Monkey.
Yeah.
And a staff. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've remade it quite a few times. They even had it before.
They did a big screen version of it, didn't they?
Yeah.
With Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
That was the later ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Chow.
He was born on an egg on a mountaintop. Do you know that?
Yeah, he's the funkiest monkey that ever lived.
Oh yeah. If I may, I will just say we have got our 100th volume coming up this week.
100th volume? What's that?
Well, we've done 100 streams.
Oh, okay.
Do you know when? This is number 97.
We've been churning them out, haven't we?
She died of leukemia.
That's a shame.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she did,
crazy.
and very young. Like it wasn't that. It was in the 80s too, so it wasn't very long. Like after she finished the series.
Gorgeous as well.
Miriam, you know who did the voice of her? Miriam Margoyles. She did the voice of.
Wow!
Didn't know that.
Wow.
Yep.
Big difference.
Yep. Going back quickly to my 100th show, if I may. This one's for you, Swap Shop. Ruin Johnson's on this week.
Hey, that'd be fun.
The man baby himself will be on the 100th volume. Ian, excellent. Are you up for that?
When is it?
It's probably going to be midweek.
Yeah, I'm around. Awesome.
Yeah. Matt, are you in? Pot?
Which one? Okay. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
It's probably going to be late our time, so evening, so it'll be early morning yours. I don't know if that will affect because of work. I don't know.
Probably will. I'll probably have to be. I reckon I'll have to go back to work next week.
Right.
After all is said and done, I'll have to probably have to go. But I don't know. I'll try.
Okay.
We can only but try.
Yeah. All I know is the man baby himself, Ruin Johnson, is going to be on talking about his trilogy, his upcoming Knives Out trilogy.
Oh, well, I think he needs an entire stream to himself then.
Well, he's been on before. He had 2. Do you remember that, Matt? We had 2 streams talking with Ruin Johnson, and they were genuinely funny. They were really, really funny. Yeah.
Well, the real guy wants to do Mandalorian, doesn't he? According to some reports, he's trying to worm his way back into.
Yes,
Star
we
Wars.
will be talking about that when Ruin comes on.
Yeah, that's probably might be a troll job. That I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You never know with these things.
We need to talk about the real news now, though.
What's that?
Caitlyn Jenner becoming governor of California.
Really? Is that true?
You've not seen this?
She's a porno.
She's just gone up for election.
Porno.
Really? Oh, she hasn't been
porno if you want to. I won't.
People have to vote for her. She isn't yet. Then is that what you're saying?
No, they've got to vote for her, but she's putting herself up forward for it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, I guess it's America, isn't it?
Well, they had Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Well, Arnie was.
Get to the chopper.
Apparently, they said Arnie was all right.
Evening,
as
Rob.
The governor. You know what?
He was well respected. Yes.
He was doing a talk, right? The press was everywhere, and he was talking, and somebody threw some eggs at him, and they said to Arnie, "How do you feel about people throwing eggs at you?" And he went, "You know what? They forgot the bacon." His reply. That was his reply.
Will I throw eggs at you? You make an omelette.
Yeah.
He's
Good
a
reply
vegan now.
Oh, is it? Oh, of course he is. Of course, saw that documentary. Yeah,
I liked it when he got into trouble for having sex with his maid. and like if you saw the maid, you'd be like, Arnie, what the hell were you thinking?
Listen,
she looked like a man in drag.
Bad. When a man's got to go, you've got to go.
Do Do you know what? Right, I was watching Red Heat a couple of days ago because it was on. I didn't watch all of it. I watched half of it. It was on Netflix, right? And you know what? The guy was quite good looking when he was in his prime, wasn't he? He had that chiseled freaking look, didn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, talking about his face. Yeah, I mean, obviously he was, built like a,
brick shit house.
When he got, because if you remember when he was first running, there was so many sexual harassment claims against him, and he's like, I was totally different when I was young. He goes, and I'm really sorry about that.
Great accent. Great impersonation. I genuinely thought it'd come on the stream then.
Yeah. She said.
You're a bastard.
I'm just going to say to the producer of tonight's show in the chat.
Who's that?
Beer Rabbit.
Red Heat is a good film. It is. It's very enjoyable.
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
I love the bit when he's in that sauna and he grabs hold of that really hot stone and he sizzles the skin on his hand and he just uses the pain and just chins that guy, doesn't he?
I would say from around that period, a less well-known Arnie film was, I think, Raw Deal.
Raw Deal was terrible.
I never did see that.
Movie. That was a terrible movie.
Oh,
it was low-budget nonsense. It was.
Maybe that's why I liked it.
Do you know what? I saw Red Heat when I was in Venezuela. My dad took us to Venezuela because my parents. And when I was in the cinema, because they mostly speak Spanish over there, when the credits come up, so when there was a joke in Red Heat, we started laughing 1 minute before the crowd in the cinema started laughing. I had to read the credits.
Raw Deal had Arnie in a white vest, greased up to the nines.
Greased up to the
when he breaks that guy's leg off with the cocaine. The cocaina. That's what he says when he breaks the guy's leg off.
Kral Birabi likes Raw Deal too. It's you, Ian. You're wrong.
Oh well, never mind. I've been wrong before.
Nobody gives him a raw deal.
Yeah. I liked him as Mr. Freeze though. He was hilarious as Mr. Freeze.
God. I wouldn't dare see that film.
I do actually like. I actually have a giant figure of him as Mr. Freeze. Yeah. They were cheap. They were going cheap.
Time to cool off.
Yeah.
All those one-liners. Was that one?
It was something Freeze. Time to freeze.
I am freezing my bollocks off.
Terrible movie.
Cruel Birab, Raw Deal, Commando, Predator, great stuff.
Commando was really good. I enjoyed
Commando, especially when the Zook is firing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Commando, no.
Did you ever see, funny you should say about Schwarzenegger, did you see that thing recently, like about a year ago or whatever? He was in Africa and this guy tried to do a back kick into him.
Oh yeah.
And he just fucking shook it off.
Yeah. That's because he's Arnie.
The guy was trying to show oh fuck. I'm just looking at photos of him and he's with a Russian powerlifter and she's fucking hot. But I'd say she's only about 12, which is a bit worrying. Especially for Schwarzenegger.
Fucking hell, that's where stream killers in everybody.
No, I'm talking about Schwarzenegger. I'm talking about Schwarzenegger. I think you're doing that pretty well on your own, to be honest.
Ooh.
Get back in the knife drawer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll be waiting to get a comeback.
You little biatch.
See you at the party, Victor.
Yeah, but Schwarzenegger's now doing those movies. You know, when I first thought, Schwarzenegger's really gone off the deep end now, he's doing a Bruce Willis, is when he did that movie with that British guy, Stephen
Hawkins.
No. It was Around the World in 80 Days, and he was in that.
Oh,
Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan.
Yeah, that's him.
Partridge.
And he has not. I can guarantee Alan Partridge never did anything over here. Like he was not a big name or anything. So
Steve Coogan's got same birthday as me, same birthday as Roger Moore.
Hello, my name is Roger Moore.
Actually, I saw him at the Oscars the other day. I saw.
Roger Moore.
Were you there?
He's dead. Roger Moore's dead.
So, well, he was 1989. This was, and it was Michael Caine, Sean Connery, and then Roger Moore just walked up. And he said, "Oh, what's your name?" And he goes, "Bond." And he goes, "Hang on a minute,
Bond.
You can't be Bond."
That was Michael Caine, wasn't it? He went,
Bond.
"Hang on a minute, you're not Bond. He's Bond." That's what he said.
That's a really good. Oh my god, that was a good Caine.
I was listening to yesterday's stream earlier on, and
whose stream?
Yours.
Was it any good?
It just sounded like someone in the toilet, basically. No, seriously, I was listening to what Cruel was saying, the fact that he'd never seen Blackadder. I could not believe hearing. Oh my god, you've got to see it. Cruel, what are you playing? He's never played Horizon Zero Dawn, which he now has played. And he's never seen Blackadder. Oh my god, Blackadder's incredible. Just start at Blackadder 2. Don't bother with the first season yet. Just start at Blackadder 2.
Avoid season 1, mate. Avoid season 1.
You'll be addicted. You'll love it. Just 2, 3, 4, just amazing. You'll love it. One of the best British movies ever.
I'm still waiting for an apology. I'm still waiting for an apology.
You're not getting here, mate.
I felt sorry for them in the last episode. Of Blackadder, I really felt sorry for them when he had to come out of the trench and run.
Don't. You're spoiling it for Cruel.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. But it was powerful.
It's only been out 30 odd years, but there you go.
It was.
Well, it's the same with I don't really want to say it, but like in the second season, the ending to that.
Matt, I'm sorry.
I was sad.
Whatever I need to be sorry about, I apologise. Pott.
You told me.
I think I know where you're going. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. But next time, don't fucking question me. All right.
Yes, sir.
Because I know my shit.
You talk it.
If we're in the pub right now, I'll be drinking a lemonade top.
A lemon. That's a lemonade top. A lemonade top, everybody.
God, Ian, would you like a baby sham with that as well?
May I just say, a lemonade top, MegaGeek style, would be 90% lemonade.
That's right.
10% low alcohol lager.
What's your drink, Pott? What do you drink when you're in the pub?
Piss.
Well, it depends. I mean, I do like a beer. I like a lager. Yeah.
Lager. Mega white thing.
I mean, some of it's quite pissy, but
Foster's.
When I went to America, because I didn't know that when they had that whole thing in the 1930s where they had, what did they call it? Prohibition. That's it.
Okay.
They pretty much lost the recipe to making beer. So when I went there and I said I'd like some beer, and they have all different types, like they have honey beer and all this sort of stuff. So I ended up getting like one of them mixed things where like they were all just different little shots of different beers, and none of it, they just couldn't get it right, And but our beer is just phenomenal, so I don't know why they don't steal that, But I love beer, I do, but probably a Bacardi and Coke if I had to.
Yeah, Bacardi and Coke and what is it, JD and Coke? That always goes down a treat.
It doesn't taste like anything like it used to.
Maybe when we're all allowed to go inside Witherspoons, we should do one of these from Witherspoons on a Saturday night.
Where's that?
Pissed up.
Swap shop. What do you drink when you're in the pub? Is it lager?
I'm not a massive drinker, to be honest with you, but I do like a pint of Guinness.
A Guinness. Guinness.
Is that the one that's warm?
No.
No.
This might be controversial, but it's black and white Guinness. So
ooh. Stream killed. Stream terminated.
Yeah, no, I don't know. They, I mean, we have our own. Each state here in Australia has its own beer. Like, there's 4X in Queensland.
Wow.
You know, which is probably, and then you've got your Foster's, which is Sydney.
MC's been to Australia.
You got your VB,
nice
which is Melbourne, Victoria beer.
I've had some of that. That's all right, is that?
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, here in Tassie we have two. We have one because we have a north and south. Oops. In here in Tasmania, and like up in the north it's Bogues, and in the south it's Cascade. But Cascade's really pissy.
Did you say that the beer in Australia tastes better than the beer in America? Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah, because we never really lost the recipe, Ian.
All right.
Whereas when Prohibition happened, they sort of lost it. They just like they couldn't really capture the recipe again.
Right.
So even like I've had Budweiser and that's really, really pissy. Like compared to Australian beer. I don't know about UK beer. I haven't never had a UK beer, so that'd be something to try.
Well, you need to come over here at some point.
I plan to. I plan to.
Just let us know when, then we can go elsewhere.
It's like American chocolate as well. British chocolate tastes so much better than the American chocolate. Don't know what they put in the chocolate.
You should try. You know what? You need to try Australian chocolate.
Oh, cool.
Our cows. It's actually because of the milk from Tasmania. If you tried Cadbury milk from the UK,
is that the penal colony?
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, the Cadbury UK, the Cadbury UK, doesn't have any taste at all. But the Australian Cadbury, oh my God, you can tell the difference. You could do it blindfolded.
What about Australian women? Are they any good as well?
Oh, Australian women are bloody amazing.
As you can see, I'm still single.
No, honestly,
some British accents, you know.
Some of the Australian women are pretty amazing. Let's face it.
British, but they're not themselves.
Oh, are they
themselves?
Yeah. But I mean, it depends. If you're from another country, you know, you're probably in there. You know,
it's always the way, isn't it? It's always the way.
In the chat, Kroel Birab, he likes a pint of Guinness Draft.
Yes.
So do I, mate. I remember when I was in my mid-20s, young and didn't give a fuck about life. I went to a leaving do at work and I had 7 pints of Guinness.
Jesus.
And I nearly passed out.
Yeah.
So I went for a piss and I was fine, and then had another 2 pints.
So I don't know
7
if you know
pints
this.
of Guinness.
I don't know if you know this, but like the Mary, the Crown Princess of Denmark, she's Tasmanian.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's she like? She's
yeah. Well, yeah, she'd have to be, wouldn't she? Google her, and you'll see what she. I mean, she doesn't look so hot now, but 10 years ago, she was quite attractive.
What was her name again?
It's Mary. Well, her name used to be Mary Donaldson, but now she's known as Mary Crown Princess of Denmark, Countess of Montpezat.
Phantom outsider, hail Phantom outsider.
She met her husband, who was the Prince of Denmark, mind you, in a pub.
Of course you would. Yeah, if you can bloody
in 2000. So she was about 20 or 30 years old, I think.
Swap Shop in the chat. Why do they still have marathon bars in the UK, aka Curly Whirly?
No, it's not. Marathon bars used to be. They're called Snickers now.
Oh, I'm being stupid because we've been talking about bars and pubs. I thought marathon bars, as in I've never heard of them.
I thought it was that. I thought, yeah. Well,
sorry, Phantom Outsider. I am a thick
It used
twat.
to be called. It used to be called Snick. It used to be called Marathon, and then they changed it because the
Snickers.
Americans call it Snickers. I don't know why. Curly Whirly is still Curly Whirly though, isn't it? It's still Curly Whirly.
I didn't go much on those.
Mm. You know, as a kid, I used to eat them like it was out of business.
We had this fantastic one called Polywaffle.
Polywaffle. Is that chocolate?
Polywaffle.
That chocolate?
I went out with her once.
It's like a wafer tube with marshmallow in the middle and chocolate covered in chocolate.
Sounds awesome.
It was back in the day, but
chocolate covered in
they're trying to bring it back, but covered in chocolate.
Chocolate covered in chocolate.
I still love Tim Tams from Australia, man. I remember the first time I tried one of those.
No, you guys had them.
I tried the Tim Tam Explosion. They must have imported them or something into Tesco, but I tried the Tim Tam Explosion from what someone recommended. I got a hot cup of tea, and I bit the ends off each end of off the biscuit, and then put one in the and you basically used it as a straw to suck up the tea.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that with any biscuit.
It was beautiful, but I looked like a scat movie afterwards.
You know who gets them imported to America? Jennifer Love Hewitt. She loves.
She had it in the day.
And she gets them imported from Australia to have them. And we were trying to teach her how to suck it like out of a straw.
Sorry. Cruel Birab in the chat says they were Marathon, then Snickers, but they've been sold as Marathon again in Morrison's. I did not know.
Oh wow, really? That's great. In my opinion.
Retro.
Yeah, Marathon. I used to remember it's a Marathon bar. And who comes up with the names for bars?
Yeah,
for chocolate bars. Twix, Mars. You know, you could have chocolate bar and you go, that's called Mars, but it has nothing to do with the planet or anything else. Why did they call it Mars?
Milky Way.
Yeah, see, we used to have phenomenal names. Like we've got these things called Freddo the Frog.
Freddo the Frog.
Yeah, we had Freddos.
Did you?
Yeah,
that was an Australian thing then.
We do have that.
And we also had Birdie Beetles.
Don't know that one.
And so we have like Caramello Bears, which have got like caramel inside the chocolate. And yeah, they have weird things. Like even our ice creams are weird. You know, we have like things called Bubblo Bills. And no,
Yahtzee is to folk.
It's a take on Buffalo Bill, but yeah.
Scumbleflange, the new name for Turkish delight.
You need to try our Turkish delight in Australia.
Turkish, I love Turkish delight.
Never liked it.
No, the Australian version's really nice. It's a chocolate.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I used to go into a shop with 2p, and they used to have those little bowl with sweets in it, and they used to put it in a bag for you and weigh it, and then they'll give it to you. And I think it was 2p for 5 pence. That's going back a long way though. And you used to get like blackjacks and
we used to get bags of lolly,
cola cubes. Yeah,
we used to have corner shops here. We don't have them anymore, where they were just like independent, family run shops. Like we used to have a thing where like we'd take little bottles down to. This is way. This is like 40 years ago. But we used to take bottles down to, and they used to get 20 cents per bottle. So we used to take a whole heap of bottles down and then swap them over for lollies.
Where I used to live, right, they used this ice cream place, and if you brought a carton with you or like a big bowl or whatever, with a lid on it, they used to just fill it up for you. And I can't remember how much you used to pay for that. But it was really nice ice cream. It was like it was obviously an Italian family, and they made their own ice cream, and they used to fill it up. I remember also bags of potatoes used to cost 10 pence, but that's going back a long time ago. Yeah, my mum used to make me take the pram, go all the way down the market, and give the £10, put the bag of potatoes in the pram, and wheel it back home. I'm telling you,
I'd pay to see that. Cruel Birab in the chat.
You've never forgiven her for that, have you?
No.
The pick and mix in Woolworths still missed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have pick and mix in cinemas when the cinemas were open. I mean,
Too
especially
expensive.
Cineworld, yeah.
I'm cheap as well. I used to go with my own because I'm cheap.
Oh, yeah. In America, they don't have sweet popcorn. They have butter popcorn. They have salt popcorn, but they don't have sweet popcorn. I mean, I don't know if it's only exclusive to England.
You're telling me they've never had it with like toffee on it, melted toffee?
No. You know what? The last time I went to cinema in America was to see Age of Ultron with a friend of mine, and she liked putting salt popcorn and then adding M&Ms inside the popcorn, and then putting more popcorn on top of it, and then adding another sweet on top of it, and then she'd be sitting there just stuffing her face. Yeah, it's crazy. They do, and then they get, what is it? They have butter popcorn where you get the popcorn and there's this machine where you can put butter in it. It's it's horrible.
Yeah, but they have bacon and maple syrup together, so
they do indeed. Yeah, they do.
Have you seen that video where someone's mixing in a toilet?
Mixing what?
Yes,
with the sweets and the chocolate and the ice cream.
And the ice cream and that in the
Disgusting.
And it's like, it's not but it's obviously to go viral. It's nothing. It looks so fake. Like they're just like they're obviously not that stupid. Surely,
Phantom Outsider. I think Phantom Outsider must be American. No, we have toffee covered popcorn, and then goes Cracker Jacks, caramel popcorn and peanuts.
Cracker Jacks are American.
I was out in Canada and I was shooting something, and then we finished at 8:00. And I had my friend that was working with him. We desperately wanted to see Age of Ultron. No, it wasn't Age of Ultron. It was the other one. Anyway, it was coming up to about 10:00, whatever. And I was like, I better go back to my hotel room. And she was going, no, we can go to the cinema. I'm like, really? You can go to cinema at 11? He goes, yeah, the cinema goes 24 hours. It's unheard of in England to have cinema go 24 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, they used to do late shows. But
unless they do a marathon,
Yeah.
Not
but I can't do marathons. I just can't.
Yeah, well, you remember the days when you go to the cinema, you can sit anywhere you want. Do you remember that? Yeah. And now you have to book your bloody seat. Yeah, crazy,
like
isn't it?
You look online and like half the seats are already gone, and you're like, but it's 2 months away.
yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
I wouldn't like to go to. I wouldn't like to go to the cinema with Tupac. He used to take a 3-foot bong into his friend's cinema. It'd be nice and foggy. Good for you, but not for the people in the cinema, mate.
You guys might be too young to remember when they used to smoke in the cinema, and all it was just smoke everywhere.
Smoke on planes, mate.
I think I do remember it because there used to be smoke. There used to be holes in the seats.
Yeah.
From the smoke. Like ashtrays in the armrest.
Pin burns.
They did. Do you remember when they used to have the woman that came round with the chalk ices, and she used to have the little thing, and the light was on it? Yeah. I remember when there was curtains on the screen as well. The curtains used to pop.
Curtains.
Do you remember them?
Yeah.
That was amazing. I remember Empire Leicester Square used to when it was one cinema. It was huge. And when you see those curtains part, you get really excited. Like the film's gonna start. Everybody be cheering and stuff. And now it's nothing like that now. People go to the cinema, and they're just either on their phone or talking. Yeah.
Do you notice like a lot of people just now they just show up 20 minutes later after what the movie's
supposed to
start because they know that it's going to be full of ads for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then so you include that into the running time. Because you say, oh, what's the running time? And they tell you, and you're like, yeah, okay, 20 minutes of ads for that.
But you guys
you
guys probably don't know the flea pits, because there was two flea pits where I lived, flea pit cinemas, and they always used to show like horror films back to back. I went to see The Howling and Scanners one night at 10:00. Yeah, and it was a real flea pit, and it was always packed. People were always screaming, throwing popcorn at the cinema, at the screen, and talking all the way through the movie. And I remember when they showed Enter the Dragon, a midnight screening, it was packed, and mostly a lot of black people in there, just screaming at the screen, and they're really big fans of Bruce Lee and stuff. It was pretty amazing.
I went to the movies once, and sorry, Mr. Brown.
I was just going to say, has anybody seen The Last Dragon?
Yeah, oh, it reminds me of that scene in the cinema. Yeah, I have.
Such a great film, that is.
But that's how it was in those days. That bit in Last Dragon where all people were screaming at Bruce Lee. That's how it was.
Yeah, if nobody has watched The Last Dragon, check it out. Very 80s, but very good.
Did you know blaxploitation movies started because
that was a
of
Motown
Japanese
movie.
cinema? Of Japanese cinema. Did you know that? Basically, one distributor saw a Japanese film, and in those days in New York, because that's where it started in New York. In New York, cinemas used to go 24/7, and after people had been to the pub or whatever, they would pile in the cinema. And then one distributor saw this Japanese film, and he decided to buy it for America, obviously dub it and stuff.
Right.
And then he played it in one cinema, and it was a huge success. You know, the cinemas just got packed. And he just bought another one, and then it was mostly filled in it was mostly cinemas in Harlem, middle of New York, and so, you know, all the poor areas.
Yeah.
And so a lot of black people went to see kung fu movies, and they just really into it. And then one person said, "Well, can't we make a film that just has black people in it doing kung fu?" And that gave the birth to blaxploitation movies. Would you believe? If it wasn't for the kung fu movies, then that would never have happened.
I have to appreciate blaxploitation films because of Pam Grier. I'm sorry. Oh, God. She was gorgeous.
No relation.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Coffee or Foxy Brown myself, but yeah.
I'll just Phantom Outsider, Which Last Dragon, the one with Bruce Leroy and Show Nerf.
That's it. Yes. That's the one. That's the one.
Absolute.
He catches the bullet with his teeth at the
end. Sorry, guys. It's fucking top draw. It's so of its time, but
it is.
It's fun.
Who was the girl in it? She was gorgeous.
Vanity.
She was lovely.
Yeah.
Good.
Really great film.
Yeah. Good nonsense film. Just like what was that other one? Big Trouble in Little China. Thought that was quite cool as well. Anybody seen that one?
The big boys,
yeah, absolutely. Jeez, come on, I've got the action figure.
the big boys of YouTube have been kind of giving some love to that of late.
Critical Drinker has,
Neurotic, Drinker, all them lot.
Because they're remaking it now with The Rock.
Oh,
why?
They're not, are they?
Yeah. Yes. Well, they'll talk about it.
And he won't be stupid either, like Kurt Russell's character. I bet he'd be all brave and and all that stuff.
I think they were trying to say
it's a sequel. It's not. They're not remaking. It's a sequel.
Still garbage.
Yeah, it's going to be like a rebootish type thing.
Oh,
yeah. Why? Although they did a good job on Jumanji. Because the Jumanji films were quite entertaining, the reboot ones.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but The Rock. I'm sorry, he hasn't got a range.
No, he hasn't.
He's got the range of The Rock.
It's just the fucking Rock. And like, I was watching a video. I don't know what movie it's from because I rarely ever watch any Rock movies. But there was one where he had a freaking bloody a cast on his arm, and he broke the cast off his arm, like literally. Ripped the cast off his arm, like because he had a broken arm or something.
And
I'm like, why the hell would you be in a movie like that where it's obviously suspension of disbelief,
Mm.
And I don't know.
What about Jumanji with the girl from Doctor Who in it? Bloody hell.
Yeah, she that's probably one of my favorite films with her in it.
Yeah, I mean,
but she doesn't do a very good American accent, as far as I'm concerned. She's really until she puts it on.
She's Scottish in real life, isn't she?
Scottish. Is that why she's Scottish?
Yeah, she's Scottish in real life.
Oh,
so yeah.
So when like, was she putting on a Scottish accent when she was in Doctor Who?
Yeah, she had a Scottish accent, but it wasn't thick. It wasn't. Thug Scottish accent, BBC Scottish accent.
so when Matt Smith's Doctor, actually, I know we're going off topic, but when Matt Smith's Doctor lands, it's in Scotland, is it?
No,
when she's a little girl.
Yeah, it's in some town outside London. But they remember she says that she moved.
I didn't know Scotland was so close. All right.
No, in the episode, she said she moved. Remember, she said, Scotland was rubbish. She said, and we've moved. She says it, actually says it. So, yeah, she is Scottish. She was born in Scotland. So there you go. Do you watch Doctor Who, Mr. Swappy?
Me? Yeah. Well, I watched it up until Jodie Whittaker. Yeah.
I think most fans did. Yeah. And then that was that.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty much with Matt on that one. I stopped 2017, was it? Yeah. But even then, I'd stopped before then. I was only collecting the Blu-rays, like after, like, you know, when they used to release the part 1 and part 2s on Blu-rays, and that's when I'd catch up with it because I'd watch it all at once. Otherwise, I couldn't watch it like every week. I just couldn't. I couldn't sit through it.
I have problems with New Who anyway. Look, I'm a fan of Doctor Who, but I'm not stupid to accept everything blindly. The first episode of Chris Eccleston, I was, when I watched it, my hands was in my head because I just thought it was awful personally.
Yeah, I agree. It was.
Back in the room.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, guys, I dropped off. Sorry.
Hang on. Someone just called me a fake Aussie.
Who did?
What
this
the hell?
This is from another Aussie, so I think he's kind of got the right, maybe.
Real Jones.
Rael Honnis.
Right. Okay. All right. Yep. I'm not from Australia anyway.
That's not a knife.
I'm Tasmanian.
It's a knife.
Penal colony.
Yeah.
Tasmania.
People on mainland always think that they're
MC in the chat, where has Mr. Brown gone? My phone turned itself off and the tethering went.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you use a phone? No wonder you sound like you're in the toilet.
My life is in the toilet, but that's another stream.
Well, that goes with all of us, so don't worry.
We want a good Doctor Who. We don't want any crap anymore.
Oh, God, is he talking about Doctor Who again?
Well, as soon as you left, we started talking about it.
Yeah, we did.
Not about me.
No, we talked about you, definitely.
No, we're not.
Well, I would expect it. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have heard what Pott said about you. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. I know. I said the P word.
Silly boy.
That rhymes with oofter.
Yeah, that one. No, you can't use that nowadays. You can't. There's a lot of words you can't use anymore.
You can't. No, it's just crazy, isn't it? When you think about it,
you can't even say to people, "Oh, do you understand what I'm saying?" You can't even say that. You can't even say that anymore.
Phantom Outsider. Australia isn't real. Neither is Canada.
Yes, they are.
I love that. Of
course they are.
Love that. That was so funny. That's so
Australia
funny.
is definitely real. Canada's definitely real.
I'm a paid actor.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the money, but yeah.
Tupac, my career's taken a swan dive into a shit can also. I think there's a lot of people who, with everything that's been going on, has been affected. But once
much happened.
Once the Great Reset has finished, fucker.
What about you, Swappy Swap Shop? I mean, has your career gone down the shitter, or are you okay?
Freelance stuff's all right, but as far as working for any kind of major company, it has pretty much, yeah.
Oh dear.
Mine pretty much went after the financial crisis of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
When as soon as that. Because I was really riding a wave. I was like doing amazing things. Sorry?
What were you doing at the time for the folks at home?
I was almost in the animation business, like literally going to be, And so I went to America and I stayed there for a while, and it was brilliant, and everything. And then I had to come back home. And when I came back home, literally the ass fell out of the financial, the whole, what do they call it? You know,
it was the banking crisis.
Money thing,
banking crisis,
and everything just collapsed. So all the connections, everything that I made while I was in the States, they all lost their jobs, all of them.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
All they were put down to lowercase. You know, they were put down to really low.
It all started in America, didn't it?
That's really horrible. It's really horrible. Sorry about that.
No, well, what can you do? You know, that's life. That's my, you know, it's really weird because I went there and I had everything was flying high. You know, I was like, oh, you know, the guy said, well, where do you know, I'm like, oh, hey, don't be having a go at my accent, right? So anyway.
It's with love, mate. It's with love.
Yeah. No, well, I'm just saying, like, you know, everything was like fitting into place. It was like a movie, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, just fucking the ass fell out of it, you know, at the end. And you're just like,
I know
shit.
exactly how you feel because I was working in Vancouver. I worked in Vancouver for 9 months and I was really making great strides. And then my dad fell sick and I had to come home. Yeah. So and all the contacts I made in Vancouver all disappeared. You know, so I know exactly how you feel. But you know, it's family comes first.
You know, it's a story. You know, and it's an adventure. You know, that's what life's all about.
Yeah, I love Vancouver. If I had the chance, you know, if I had a lot of money, I would go and live in Vancouver because I found at the time Vancouver, you know, was such a vibrant city and the people were so nice. Well, that was from my point of view. Obviously.
I know someone in Ontario, and oh my god,
it was
but anyway,
it was the subprime property crash, wasn't it?
In 2008, was it?
Yeah, it's subprime property.
We call it here the financial crisis. But pretty much what happened was all the studios were hit. And I had meetings at Cartoon Network. I had meetings at DreamWorks, everything like that. And pretty much as soon as I left, they all lost their jobs. They were all pretty much there was all these things planned, everything. They had all these projects and everything, and they all just fell through because of this bloody financial thing. So that was pretty much the beginning of the end. It hasn't really recovered either, though, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Tupac in the chat. We knew it was coming in 2006 and started to make boiler rooms.
Well, wasn't there supposed to be a messiah that was going to fix it all in America?
Don't know.
I don't know. What was his name?
It was David Icke, wasn't it?
Biden.
Nah, I don't know.
Wait, he was the second in command, wasn't he?
Where's Commander Culture when we need him?
I was gonna direct a lot of stuff in Vancouver. You know, there was like stuff happening in Vancouver.
They made the X-Files in Vancouver, didn't they?
Could you not? What about a Star Trek episode, Strange New Worlds?
No, it wasn't. No, well, I know it's shooting down there, but as I said, when I was there, it was a long time ago. I think it was over 20 years ago. They were making, I think it was Psych they were doing down there, and I would have got on that if I stayed there. But it's it's the way things go, I guess.
Birab, the credit crunch hit people all over the world. Not so much with the billionaires in London, though. Indeed.
Well, you know, I remember what one rich guy was talking, and he was saying that money doesn't really exist now. It's all digital, so physical money doesn't exist. And he was clever. He invested in silver and gold. So
always that's what everybody goes to, silver or gold, mainly gold. Yeah.
I know we're getting off topic here a bit, but did you hear about the physical thing? They're getting rid of Warner Media.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Tweeted about that. Yeah.
They're trying to control us personally. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, it's all just the thing is though. I mean, I love physical media. I do. I absolutely adore it. And the fact, you know, like you the other night where you said, you know, you haven't seen Close Encounters before. I did actually have a copy. You can't get it on streaming here.
No, you can't.
So I actually had one at hand, you know, that I'd bought like nearly 10 years ago or whatever. And I just never watched it. you know. But I had it on.
Are we talking
hand.
about that?
Yeah, Close Encounters.
Yeah.
I've got Indiana Jones on Blu-ray, and I've got Indiana Jones on DVD, and I've got Indiana Jones on VHS. So, so all three of them. So, yeah,
I never bought the VHS because I knew that there'd be always something a little bit better for Indiana Jones to come out on, and I did get it on DVD. But and now it's all coming out on 4K now too. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I don't know. Has it come out already though? I should get it.
No,
4K.
it hasn't yet. But it's releasing shortly in the next couple of months. But yeah, it's like it was like I was really.
They're probably gonna. Remember it in Temple of Doom, Matt, when Indiana Jones is flailing around after he's taken the poison, and he turns and he smacks that woman in the face. Do you remember that? He turns and he punches that woman in the face. I bet that's going to get cut out. I bet you. I bet you that's going to get cut out.
And it'd never get made now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, Short Round would be an absolutely, he wouldn't.
He'll be black. Character. Short Round. Short Round will be black. And a little black girl. It would.
Whatever happened to him?
Oh.
He became a stunt guy.
He was in Goonies.
So basically, he kind of came out of acting, and he basically did a lot of choreographing stunts for movies. He's done quite a lot of movies, and now he's getting back into acting now. So
he got that job. He got that job by mistake because his brother actually went for it.
Yeah,
and Spielberg said, "I want your brother." So you can imagine what that kid would have thought,
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
No time for love.
But the part that got the bit that got him the part was the card scene, because they rehearsed the card scene during the auditions. Yeah, the auditions that he did the card scene, and Spielberg was so impressed with him. Yeah, they took him on. So.
Well,
you cheat, Dr. Jones. You cheat.
He's pretty good at casting kids.
Wasn't there a scene where did something fall out of his mouth?
Yeah, a nut or something when he was eating on the table. He was eating something and it fell out. I can't remember what it was.
They were eating at the table that really disgusting meal, weren't they?
Yeah.
And he was just and then he just looked at it and something fell out. I can't remember. It's been that long since I've seen it.
They had monkey brains, and they had eyeballs in the and they were actually human eyeballs in
the soup. Yeah, in the soup.
Yeah, in the soup.
And beetles. Beetles. I love the scene where they're in the cave.
I could have eaten the beetles because they look like pate.
Remember that scene where we're in the cave with all those bugs? I love that scene. Absolutely love it.
Oh yeah. Well, people don't like that actress, do they? Even though Spielberg married her.
Is Swap Shop still alive, by the way?
Yeah,
that's what a real woman was like. A real woman would scream at those sort of things. They wouldn't go, look at this. This is so cool. Look at all these cool insects.
I think I've said to you previously, Swap Shop, when you come on these, you are supposed to talk.
No, he basically measures.
He's taking it all in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I want to wait for a brief.
It's just that I haven't heard him for about 10 minutes. That's all.
I'm so interested in this conversation that I mean, I'd like to listen to it. I don't blame it. But that's my what.
No, man, I've got 3 versions of Back to the Future as well. I've got the
1, 2,
NTSC,
and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. The NTSC version, the PAL version on DVD, and then I've got the Blu-ray when it first came out, and then I've got the other Blu-ray, the 4K version. So I've got 4 versions of the trilogy of Back to the Future. It's crazy.
I love the theme ride, the actual ride that they had, the theme park ride. Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Universal.
Did any of you ever go on that?
Yeah, I did.
I think so.
It's better than the Simpsons ride. Bloody hell!
Did they
the Simpsons replaced it?
That was in California, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at
I'm sure I went on it. Yeah.
I went on Florida.
I've got all the Bond films on DVD as well, but I haven't got the last 2 Craig ones. Yeah, I didn't get that one at all. But
Skyfall,
you know,
I didn't like either.
No, I got Skyfall because I
never
wanted
even
it part of my
watched Spectre.
collection. But I don't know. Casino Royale's the best one he did.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was going somewhere, Ian.
Went to the dogs, mate.
Problem. Yeah, it did, and it's like you're just like, oh, what the fuck, you know? I thought it was a great film.
I'm looking at my shelf now.
Ava Green was ace, isn't it?
I even got the Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. What is it? The George Lucas, the prequels. I've got them as well. Oh my God, why did I buy them? Why did I buy them? I don't know. Attack of the Clones.
When they first came out on DVD, that was huge though, because they were one of the first. That was one of the first movies to ever really come out on DVD. That was of the newer generation, because they're only re-releasing old movies back then. Yeah, I remember the first DVD I ever owned was The Matrix.
Oh, really?
Great film.
Yeah,
great film.
And also Blade as well, the first Blade, because it really showed off the
another great film.
The very first film I ever brought, in fact, I went halves with my friends, was Enter the Dragon, and in those days, videotapes used to cost a lot of money to buy them straight out. It was 78 quid we collected to buy Enter the Dragon.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah, these days, 20 quid in it, or even less. Yeah, we coughed up 78 quid just to see Enter the Dragon, and it was in widescreen. I remember that.
Ooh. Yeah, great widescreen was the one that was the worst out of them. I was like, oh, can I have it in full screen, please? I don't really like the whole black bars thing. But then, of course, you become a film aficionado, and that's all you want, Because I got the original Star Wars on video when just before they released special editions.
Pan and
scan.
Yeah, and it was pan and scan, and I'm like, why didn't you buy it? Because it's the original. Oh, fuck you. So anyway, they
so
released
aggressive.
it, and it was the originals,
Yeah.
And I just so wish I had it in.
I threw them away. I threw those. Yeah. I threw a lot of VHSs away. And so.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, same here.
VHS players. I know of a couple of people that still own VHS.
I've still got one.
It's so hard to, once that goes though, Ian, you're not going to be able to get it fixed. You realise that, don't you?
I know.
MC in the chat.
Constantly head cleaning. Don't be rude, Mr. Brown.
Are you talking about VHSs now?
Yes, I am.
MC in the chat. This is a true fan. I had Empire Strikes Back on VHS, 80 quid when it came out.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yep,
that's a lot of sponduella.
When we first got our VHS player, this is about 1982, the first movies we ever owned, and they were like $100 each, was The Wizard of Oz and The Dark Crystal.
Oh, I like Dark Crystal. Anybody remember, right? I remember I went to my friend's house, right? And he was so proud that he had one of those TVs, one of those big TVs that had the little projector. So it was like a big TV. Yeah, and it projected onto the screen. So that obviously it looks projected. The picture wasn't of that quality. And he was so proud. I remember like, yeah, look at my TV, man. It's amazing. Obviously, in those days, I thought it was amazing too. But looking back, the quality is terrible in those things.
It is.
Absolutely awful.
It is. It is. They just don't have enough colour in them.
Rayal Honnis.
Yeah, we had
chat.
One. We had a 55-inch, and
Don't go bragging about it. Rayal Honnis says in the chat, he has the widescreen VHS box set for Star Wars. Will that be the original? Will that be the originals?
No, it won't. The originals was in 4:3. I've got them as well.
No, they did actually release the widescreen in. You had two different versions. You had the full screen and you had the widescreen, and you could either buy the either box set. And what happened was back in the day when I got the box set, I got the full screen one. But when they used to take them out, because I always hated it when they always used to take the videos out because, you know, they were worried people were going to steal them.
Yeah.
They actually put the widescreen in by accident of one of the movies, so I had to take it back and get it replaced. But I wish I hadn't have done it now. But they were the originals in widescreen.
Yeah.
And then they ended up releasing them on DVD anyway. But
I bet you were
as
better
like
to get
extra,
them. Yeah. 2-pack Basic Instinct was $120 at his local
that was
Blockbuster.
shit quality.
Then he
I'm sure it's nice now.
then he says,
you know.
hold on, chat's going mad here. Where are we? Oh God, chat's going mad. Just bear with me. Every copy of Basic Instinct would be worn at a certain scene.
Ha ha. Ha ha ha.
The end of it.
Well, like I said, you're probably better off in Blu-ray now. But even DVDs, if you actually paused on a DVD for too long, it would actually wear out.
Well, I don't understand because I like Blu-ray, the quality of Blu-ray, right? But Blu-ray, it's like they went backwards. With DVDs, you put the DVD in, it plays immediately. You press, you know, you go forward, obviously, with the thing mark, and then you just click on what you want to play, and then it plays. With Blu-ray, it has to boot up or something like that. And then you have to wait a couple of minutes for it to do its thing. It's like going backwards with the Blu-rays. I've got to admit, it really is. It's crazy. Why isn't it better now? Why isn't Blu-rays better? Why can't we just stick it in and it plays immediately? I don't know why.
You know what? With DVDs, they used to have a thing called layer change, and a lot of people forget that.
Dual layer.
DVDs, yeah. So you would actually, like, I remember watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and like
Nice
Johnny
beaver.
Depp would be talking, and then all of a sudden he'd freeze. And then he'd come back.
I had a copy of Starship Troopers, which was it was dual-sided. You had to turn the thing over halfway through the
Part
film,
1 and Part 2.
which was quite annoying.
Some of the original ones.
So then I bought another version, what was dual layer. I love Starship Troopers.
No, it doesn't hold up.
Have you ever seen Mr. Brown? Have you ever seen the Roughnecks CGI animated series? It was fantastic. Yeah. The movie, that. Starship Troopers, amazing. I've said it many times, amazing. 20 years before.
I think RoboCop's a better film.
I'm just looking at
I'd agree, yes. Marginally.
Speed DVD I'm looking at right now. And it's got the making of on a separate disc. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely crazy.
MC in the chats. I have the original Star Wars on DVD copied from Laserdisc. Wow.
Ooh. I remember when they used to sell them on Super 8. It was only like 15 minutes of the Star Wars.
You want to see something funny? See something funny? Watch Leonard Nimoy introduce Laserdisc. It's hilarious.
Really?
He has this little friend who's like a little laser.
Oh no!
And he goes, "Of course Larry. I know. I'm Leonard Nimoy." it's quite interesting to watch this thing from the early '80s. You know,
I'll tell you what, though, if you went backwards in time and saw yourself and said, you know what, in the future, you know, you just download the films and stuff, I probably wouldn't believe myself. I'd be like, nah, it can't be true.
If I could go back in time, I'd tell myself to go left instead of right. There you
go.
I'd probably say, you know what, don't invest in Napster.
I'd tell my dad not to buy Betamax because that's what he did.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, my dad, my mum. Actually, my dad was away at the time, and my mum
went, phones,
you know, we want to get a video player. So they ended up lay-buying because back then, I don't know if you have lay-buy there.
Yeah,
or layaway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we lay-buyed this huge machine that was a video cassette player, and it was a Beta. And my dad said, "Don't get it. Get the VHS one."
It's really odd how the Australians and the Americans always call it Beta. beta machines.
Yeah,
it's really weird. It's beta.
Why? Is it though? Because that sounds rude.
Is it though? Is it?
Of course it is. What about I
was beating off last night.
What about What about math? It's maths, not math. It's not one. It's loads.
My go is how they drop the H from herbs.
Yeah, no, it was maths.
Aluminium.
It was maths here.
Does for me, mate.
Aluminium. Short it to
aluminum.
Aluminum.
It's like all the other ions on the periodic table you pronounce correctly. Why not that one?
This one's for 2-pack. Aluminum.
Well, I mean,
you know why? Because you know what happened when I went to America. That's the first thing they asked me was like, "Can you say aluminum?" And I went, "Well, yes." I said it's aluminium, and they go, "Ha ha ha!" And I said, "Do you want to know why they called it aluminum here in America?" And they said, "Why?" I said, "Because you can't fucking say aluminium." And they all shut up then because they're like, "Yeah, you're right. You know, it's just not an American saying. You know, they can't say it. Aluminium."
When I directed in Vancouver for a very long time, over 20 years, and they always used to take the piss out of me when I used to go cut, and he used to say, "Cheers, mate," and they always used to take the piss out of me. I think I said lolly once, and they all laughed. I was like, "Well, why are you laughing?" Is it because they were giving out lollies to us? Because in the summer it gets really hot in Vancouver, so they were giving out lollies. I'm like, "Yeah, can I have a lolly?" And they just all laughed at me. I don't know what they call it.
Do you mean a nice lolly?
Yeah, an ice lolly. They were giving out
not money.
We don't call them here. We call them ice creams or icy poles.
Icy poles. Oh, okay. So.
Oh yeah. It's icy pole is like an ice lolly in
icy
the UK.
Pole.
We call them ice poles over here as well, but Americans call it something different. I can't remember. And Canadians, they call it something. I don't know what they call it.
Can someone tell us in the chat, please, what you call them? They're like, it's just like it's ice. No, it's not an ice lolly, is it?
And I remember I was directing. It was freezing. I was directing in the winter down there, and it was snowing. And I had my flat cap on, and they wanted my flat cap. They thought it was strange that I was wearing a flat cap. All of them. They were like, "That's amazing. Can we? Can I wear it?" I'm like, "No, it's for me. Go away." So it's just small things like that in canada.
Is that like you mean a flat cap, like one of those like what's his name? Cap used to wear, Andy Cap.
Yeah, like what I'm wearing in my avatar. Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Rayal Honis in the chat. Golden Gate
times.
Yes.
they are called different things in the that is an ice cream here.
Guys, it's 2 hours. We'll just go for a little bit longer, then we'll call it a draw if that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Because it is 1:10 in the UK.
Yeah, I got family coming here soon, so coming from over on the mainland. So yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll maybe go to.
Do you live in town then, Matt? Do you live in town?
No. I live just a little bit in one of the suburbs, but the mainland is Australia. We call that the mainland. Right. So because like we are actually like divided by sea, so called a thing we call Bass Strait. So that's why we're on little island sort of thing. So when we have people when we say we're going to the mainland, and we call them mainlanders.
All right.
So it's sort of like we're like Atlantis,
So is where you live? Is it like the houses in Poltergeist and E.T.? Is it like that?
No. It's not heavily suburbia. It is in parts, but like there's a lot of you'd be surprised, Ian. Like the countryside, even in Australia, it's not overpopulated like it is in the UK. Like there are huge amounts of places where I think we're even bigger than the UK. But there's huge unpopulated areas. It's just amazing, and now we're getting all these. We're getting a lot of immigration and everything in, And a lot of the time they're trying to put them into these other areas where there's not much population.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know if they're trying to fill it up or what.
The same thing in Canada. The Canada, I think it was like 50, or was it 60% of Canada is not full. I mean, there's loads of Canada that has that no one lives in. So they're trying to do the same thing, I think. So yeah.
And like you have states as well.
States.
So you guys don't have states in the
Counties.
UK.
Counties.
Okay, that's what you go by. Is it like that's not
we're
like
not big enough to have states.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a lot of there are I mean it's very different.
Yeah, I mean I love that. I love learning all that. Yeah.
It's very, very different.
I know there's a lot of like inbreeding and stuff too.
Yeah.
What, in the UK? Yeah.
Not really.
Well, there's a lot of inbreeding in the house opposite me.
We get a lot of the people that used to live next door were first cousins. So
what about you, Swappy Shop? Do you live in London or outside?
London.
Yeah.
He's Leicester, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I forgot.
About an hour and 20 minutes north on the train, mate.
Okay. Leicester. Never been to Leicester before. Maybe one day I'll go.
Isn't that weird? It's like, I'm amazed. I mean, I've been almost to every capital city in Australia, and yet you've, yours is like, what, a couple of counties away? Leicester?
Yeah, it's longer though. It's further,
okay.
Yeah.
So you guys still use trains and that? So we don't. We don't use trains anymore.
What do you use? TomTom?
Buses.
Buses. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can travel from one end of Tasmania to the other within about 4 or 5 hours.
I went to see my friend in Perth when it was my 40th, and we decided to go to Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, but that's like you didn't come to Tasmania though. Tasmania is like a about 4 to 5 hour drive from one end to the other. Because we're a lot smaller than the rest of the mainland. We're one of the smaller states. We only have a population of over 500,000. We're not even 1 million.
Oh, wow.
So no, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else because I go to Melbourne and all that, and it's crazy there. It's insane. Just I mean, a lot of it now is because we're so close to Asia, that part of the Asiatic Sea, that we pretty much we're not even a penal colony anymore. Let's just say it that way.
Real Honis, I'm in Adelaide. My auntie, I've got relatives who live in Adelaide.
I loved Adelaide. I spent a week in Adelaide.
Yeah.
It was awesome. South Australia.
Yeah.
Adelaide is sort of like the closest to... Yeah, you'll have to come.
Have you not been, Ian?
No, never been to Australia. Never been. I'd like to, though.
Well, I reckon they're looking for directors.
Sorry?
They're always looking for directors for Neighbours.
Do it.
Especially, you'd fit in right now.
Yeah, I probably would.
They're in a lot of issues at the moment, poor old Neighbours. So yeah, I don't know if it's hit the news over there in the UK, but yeah, there's a lot of racial tension with Neighbours cast at the moment.
Mm.
Who was the main actor out of Jim? What's his name?
He did a really good career afterwards.
He did
in Hollywood. Yeah.
He was in the last Indiana Jones movie, wasn't he?
He was. And one of my friends actually said, "God, he's got a good fucking agent."
Yeah,
because he was in Star Trek as well. He was in that Nemesis movie. He played a Romulan.
Was he in the OC as well? He was in loads of stuff.
Played the father. Yeah, played the father. He was in the OC. Yeah. Yeah.
X-Files? Was he in X-Files?
Yeah,
I don't think he was. I don't remember him being in X-Files, but yeah. I mean, he's done. He did really well. He did incredibly well.
He's like that one that you like, Natalie Imbruglia.
It's not Jim Dale, is it?
Love Natalie Imbruglia.
Or is that?
I know you do. She had a good career after she left.
She did, and Isla Fisher. She had a good career as well.
Yeah. Well, she's married to Borat, isn't she?
Borat, yeah.
I like sex. It's nice.
Yeah. He's really tall and she's really small. She's tiny. I met her once, actually. Isla Fisher.
It must be Allendale.
She smiles.
Oh, Allendale. She smiles too much.
Allendale. Jim Dale. That's Carry On.
Oh, Allendale.
Yeah, every time. She's in that new one. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime at the moment. Called it's a take on the Blythe Spirit. Blythe Spirit.
Oh.
And she's in that recent one. So yeah, it is Allendale. He's New Zealand actually. He's a New Zealander.
All right.
So they can have him.
I will just say to the
he was in Ugly Betty. He was in Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty.
Yes.
And he was also in Lost.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
And he was in X-Files, and the last thing he was in was Once Upon a Time.
Wow. So
he was in Entourage as well.
He has got a great agent.
The girl with the dragon tattoo, and he was also in Winter Soldier.
Here you go. Cruel
Captain
coming
America
through
Winter
again.
Soldier, apparently.
He was in 24 as well.
He took over from Peter Davison too, by the look of it, because he was in Spam a lot. But see, you have those things called what do you call them? You know those they're like plays over there. What do you call them? You have all those soap stars. Yeah, well, we call them plays here, but
we call them plays
the
here.
Soap operas. No, well, do you? Because they're those ones. Pantomimes. That's it.
Yeah, pantomimes. Yeah.
See, we don't have those here. We don't have anything like that here. And I know a lot of people that work for, Neighbours and that, they actually fly straight over to do those sort of things because
they
that's
pay
how
a lot.
they make their money.
Yeah. Because they pay a lot. Yeah.
What's the face out of Home and Away? Did Emmerdale Farm up here?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
What was it?
Neighbours only got famous because of the school kids. Basically, one of the kids that went, they used to bunk off school to watch Neighbours during the lunch break because they used to play at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on BBC, or was it 12? I can't remember. And so one of the girls that went to school, her dad was in charge of scheduling on the BBC, and it used to start at 1. And she convinced her dad to tell them to put it on at 12. And when they put it on at 12, this is true. This is a true story. When they put it on 12, all the kids from school used to watch it at 12. That's how the audience grew because of that lunchtime version.
We actually had a show here called Sons and Daughters.
I remember that.
I loved that.
Oh, you do?
Ooh,
and what happened was that it caused a huge controversy here because kids weren't going to bed; they're actually staying up to watch Sons and Daughters. So they were when they were going to school. And they weren't, Pat the Rat and all that sort of thing. And anyways, they ended up having to. I remember having a school assembly, right? They actually called us for a school assembly and said, "You will not be watching Sons and Daughters."
Oh dear.
and I remember being probably about 7 at the time, and I'm like, oh.
What about the Sullivans? You remember that one?
Oh,
the
Sullivans was fabulous.
Wasn't Mel Gibson in that?
Yes, he was.
The Sullivans was quality. Quality.
I also remember when he did a lot of children's little kids shows and that too. Like he played a spaceman in one of his early roles, and I think he was playing like an actor playing a spaceman. So I remember.
But
he's not Australian anyway.
Mike Myers started like that. Yeah, Myers started in the kids shows in England, and look at him now.
Who's Mike Myers? You mean Austin Powers?
Yeah,
him. Fat
really?
Bastard.
Yeah, he started in England with kids shows, doing kids shows.
Yeah, with Timmy Mallet.
I thought he was raised in Canada.
He was, but he lived in England for quite a bit.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why he can do such a good accent.
Yep.
Are we gonna finish up there, guys?
Yep.
No, I was just going to get onto prisoner cell blockade. Oh well, never mind.
No, hey, that wasn't.
We'll go into overtime for you, Swap Shop.
That was called Prisoner here, and when they remade it, they called it Wentworth. But
wow.
I know for a fact that they changed it because of that other show that you guys have got in the UK, Prisoner. So that's the reason why they changed it to Cell Block H, because they didn't want to confuse. But I remember that. I remember them putting people's arms in irons and stuff like that. Getting them burned. Yeah, fantastic.
I will just say thank you to all the guys in the chat. Appreciate you.
We had our
always
own,
popping on.
Should I mention that we also had our own Australian version of Are You Being Served?
No.
Yes,
Really?
And we had John Inman in it.
No way.
Yes.
I think I remember that.
It exists. And it's called Are You Being Served Down Under? And it went
Jesus.
And John Inman flew over, and he was playing himself, of course, and he was transported to Australia for a couple of years to play this show, and it's pretty much it's just a rip off the first of the original. Like, all the characters are exactly the same. It's just the fact that they've got Australian.
Was Mrs. Slocum in there with a pussy?
Yeah, there was her own. Yeah, there was her own Mrs. Slocum. There was every character. Even what was his name? The main the old guy, the one with the moustache.
Mr. I don't know.
All of them had their own counterparts.
Oh, right, okay.
We used to have our own versions of other shows, like Father Dear Father.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And there's that was Down Under as well. We had the two Ronnies Down Under. We had lots of things. Pretty much, we had Hale and Pace Down Under.
Good Lord.
And actually, I'll tell you one other thing.
There you go, Captain Peacock in the chat. Here we go.
Yeah,
MC.
that's him.
Well done, mate.
Dudley Moore. And
did he go down under on Bo Derek?
Well, Dudley Moore and Peter Cook actually came over here and did a show.
Clive.
And then the UK found this show, they were like, oh, unreleased, never seen before footage of Dudley Moore on it. And it was like, well, actually, it was shown here in Australia first. So that's all. So, it was just made for Australian audiences. We used to do that all the time. We don't do it anymore. But, I think the last time I ever saw anything that was actually made into different cultures was Ugly Betty.
Oh, right.
Because they did a few of those, didn't they?
Well, Ugly Betty was originally from Mexico, isn't it? It was based on a Mexican.
Have you
TV
seen
series.
that girl in that now? She's freaking hot.
She always was, though.
She always was.
Yeah.
But now, oh my God, nice. Anyway.
You could go all day, couldn't you?
That's because he's getting up. We're going to bed. He's getting up.
You're going to bed. I'm getting up. I'm on coffee.
The polar opposites of energy right here.
We're
slowing down.
I'm just going to give the last word to Yahtzee because we mentioned this last week, I think, or the week before. Channel 4 showed the Paul Hogan show in its early days.
Leo
watch it.
Yeah, Leo Wanker.
but they would never show that now, would they? Because it was just like Benny Hill, majority of it, wasn't it? So
Paul Hogan show was fantastic.
Still makes me laugh when I think of him.
He was very much an aggressive male.
Yeah, he was. I just used to love his when he used to do toast, and he used to just hook a couple of pieces of bread on a couple of nails on a piece of asbestos.
Yeah.
And get a blowtorch out and just toast it. It was so good.
It's like when cling wrap first came out. Do you guys have cling wrap?
Yeah, we do.
You know that one?
Yeah, we've got the wheel as well in Britain.
Call it something else. I didn't know if they called it something else over there.
Glad
but anyway,
wrap.
so at least you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But we call it cling wrap. And anyway, when cling wrap first came out, he said, "Oh, look, this is the new product. It's called cling wrap. You can wrap everything up so it'll save everything, for a lot longer, and then you throw it out."
We'll go to 2:30, guys. 2:30, and then we'll go. Yeah.
Oh, are you telling me to shut up now?
No. 11 minutes and we're out of here.
We're just going to let Matt talk.
Well, it is the MegaGeek and Pot show.
No, it's not.
Me and Swap Shop have just
Ian,
observed.
well, maybe Ian and me and shouldn't You could be the sidekicks. Although sidekicks
the red
are normally
shirts.
funny.
That means you're going to get shot if you're a red shirt.
Real Honis Leo Wanker.
I was watching. Sorry. I was watching an interview with William Shatner the other day.
Mr.
On
Shatner
Parkinson.
to you.
Yes. He shat all over the place. And anyway.
Joke.
Anyway,
well done.
He was doing this interview in 1979, right, with Parkinson. And he was so fucking up himself. It was amazing to watch. He's like, Parkinson doesn't understand this whole sci-fi thing, and he's there and he's going, you have this following called Trekkies, and he goes, but they prefer to be called Trekkers. And it's like, yes, they do, and I don't understand it. He goes, you could tell that he's never watched a show about. He's never watched Star Trek.
He hasn't watched it, has he?
He just says, as an actor, I just have to, I know that I am known as Captain Kirk, but I don't, it's only just an acting job, But God, did it fine him or what,
Mm-hmm. I just don't think he truly got what it meant to fans, him being Captain Kirk. Apparently,
I don't think the characters and the actors on the Next Generation did either, knowing what they've come out with in the last year or so.
Apparently, he understands it a little bit better now on what it means.
What, and the fact that he's near his golden years?
Well, yeah, that he's 90. But he didn't truly get it back in the day.
Well, it's
when he
a bit
needed
weird.
to.
I've been watching all these things. He was well known in the US in the 1950s.
Oh yeah, did lots of stuff in the 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot. He was a lot like in theatre.
Good looking bloke.
He was back then. Even then, he had a toupee. But
really,
it was. Yeah. You go back and you have a look, and you just go, "That's toupee." So anyway, So he was on the Ed Sullivan show. Ed Sullivan?
Yes.
Yes. So he was. It goes way back then, like 1957, something like that, 58.
Right.
And he was in like a musical, and it's really weird. They do this whole thing with it goes for like 12 minutes. It wouldn't be shown today. There's no way they would show a whole 12 minutes of this musical on a live show,
What,
But no, they did.
Yeah,
no, he didn't sing. He didn't sing, but it was. Yeah, well, he sang at George Lucas's.
He's done a country one recently, I think.
You should Google some of his singing. It's amazing.
Well, they don't have variety shows anymore, do they? That's the thing.
That was something I was thinking of the other day. Live variety shows. They just don't have them now. They're Dancing with the Stars. That's a live variety show.
Yeah, I guess.
I remember they, because they used to have guests, even talk shows. Like the talk shows now here in Australia don't exist. They just don't. They have morning shows, which is pretty much the closest that we'll ever get again. But we don't have things during the middle of the day or anything like that at all.
We've got Loose Women.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a show like that, but it was called The View. But it just it just doesn't. They don't last long. They're not. People don't want to be entertained by women. They just don't unless they get their knockers out or something.
Oh dear! Oh dear! I think on that note we should go.
Stream well and truly gone.
Oh dear! Oh dear! Mr. Pott, what are you?
What
like?
do you expect?
Fucking hell!
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, I'm Australian. What do you expect?
For the if there are any ladies watching this, I do apologize.
Right.
Well, I know there isn't.
Come on, it's nothing wrong with a little bit of Danny humour.
I do apologise for Pott. He's Australian, you know.
You've got him going now.
Could you imagine if they were if they did it on Loose Women? The ratings would go through the roof, wouldn't they?
Oh my God, no.
Well, you know, when William Shatner was on Loose Women, he pissed them all off, didn't he? Because he was saying stuff like women should be in the kitchen and all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he pissed them off.
Did he really?
He did, yeah. He pissed them off. So there you go.
See, we have a show here called Studio 10, and they have like this. They were talking to somebody. I'm just trying to remember who it was. Richard Dreyfuss. They were talking to Richard Dreyfuss, right? And literally, they asked Richard Dreyfuss because to them they're not celebrities; they are reporters, you know. So they asked him about the whole Me Too movement, and I think he'd just been announced as being one of the, a person of interest. So
this
he's
is the Close Encounters guy.
Yeah,
Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should see him nowadays. He's just fallen from grace, poor bugger, I tell you. And so anyway, he's doing conventions now. By the way, he's doing conventions cons. That's how much he's fallen because he did Mr. Holland's Opus or whatever it was, and all these other movies. But now he's just doing
Stakeout.
Yeah, that one. And there was Stakeout too, which was amazing. And so anyway, it had what's the name in it? The big fat lady played Betty Rubble.
Yeah,
yeah, her. And so anyway,
her.
he ended up having to go on a show the next night and making a statement. And I just thought, how sad that, he said, I was brought over for some light entertainment. And he said, and they started to grill me. And he said, this is, I do not like this at all and all this sort of thing. So I don't think he'll be doing conventions anymore. Because of the fact that, people, it's like that Robert Downey Jr. thing when someone tried to ask him about all his childhood and that when he's trying to promote Avengers,
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
it's
I do.
Well, just ask him about the damn film, You don't have to. It's they pissed off Denzel Washington once. These are Australian reporters, mind you. These are Australian reporters. They seem to think, we're going to ask you. Rather than, they do. They really do piss off a lot of people. They're very rude. Australians are very rude to reporters.
I can see.
When they spoke to Denzel Washington, you'd want to ask him about his acting career. But no, they were just asking him what was it like working with Gene Hackman? What was it like working with... And he got really pissed off. He's like, are you going to ask me questions about me? Or are you going to ask, He's like, oh, no, all right, we'll talk about other people then.
Well, that was like in the UK when they were interviewing Quentin Tarantino, asking him about the violence in his film. And he was like, I've already spoken about that. And, and he was very pissed. He's like, well, why are you asking? We're supposed to be talking about our film. You ask me questions like that. So, yeah.
It's like Billy Bob Thornton. Have you ever seen the one that was on with what's
Bad
the name?
Santa.
That lady.
Great film.
Yeah, Bad Santa. Yes, I haven't seen
2 minutes, and then we're out of here.
Billy Bob. He had this. He was talking about his musical career, right? And anyway, they had him on the thing. They had him on this radio show, and the first thing the guy asks him is, he does an introduction, and he says about Billy Bob being an actor. and he goes absolutely fucking apeshit as soon as the guy finishes. And he's like, we're here to talk about my music career. Why do you need to mention about me being an actor? It's like, well, because you're a fucking actor. you know, you wouldn't really make a music career because you're not a really good musician.
Dear.
So yeah, it's just weird how they think. You know, it's like all these you know, people that are celebrities. They all seem to think like, you know, wrestlers. I know it's acting anyway, but they seem to want to go into acting. You know, like Hulk Hogan and all them.
Shall I just leave this running for you, Potts?
You're trying to shut me down, aren't you? Shut it down.
He's not even having coffee.
Listen, I'll leave it on for you if you want. I'm off to bed.
I'll
leave it on for you if you want.
People come here for me, you know.
All right, guys. Look, I need to go to sleep as well.
I'm going to go too. Yep.
Okay, I'll just say to everybody who stuck with us, appreciate the time, guys. Always great to see you in the chat. We're going to be doing the 100 volume this week at some point. We'll try and get some big guests on. So be great to see you guys pop up. I'll just say thank you to MegaGeek, Matt Pott, Swap Shop. We'll see you next time, boys and girls. Cheers for coming. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
And sleep